Oh,
I just hit them.
God.
Ah! I just hit us and had Wookie full screen.
You hit
Oops.
ass.
I hit us and had Wookie full screen. He was my whole screen.
Jesus Christ.
Not sharing my screen. Oh my! How do I
He's
fix this?
buffering. He's Biff buffering.
How do I fix this?
There you go.
Grid. Fixed it. Oh, thank God.
Hey!
Hey!
Hello.
We got him back. He's sitting down. Oh, he's got something fancy.
Ow.
Oh, isn't this nice to
Yeah,
see?
margarita.
To see.
Looks like Mountain Dew.
Oh, that's because I add Midori to it.
Ah, some
Ooh.
Midori.
Midori is.
It gives it that extra green look.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like
I-
I'm a little bit short of other materials to add to it, and it's like the. You ever been to Fortress in Melbourne? They have this drink called Vala's Kiss, which is pretty much the same, except it's just missing 1 or 2 ingredients.
Okay.
But still,
Oh.
it's fucking nice.
Still a nice drink.
Yeah, yeah. Like I tried to replicate it, and I got as far as tequila, and then I drank a bit too much of that, and then I had Midori. And
got
like,
as
yeah,
far
that's
as
green
tequila.
enough. And then I found out a margarita mix, so I just made it into a margarita with Midori, and it's kind of close.
That's alright then.
Do not drink that straight though. That Midori, it's fucking sweet.
Yeah, that's why I had tequila. I've got the good shit, Patron.
Like you're censoring it
Ooh.
for a second there. Like he was like, no,
Yeah.
you can't show that. He's
Don't
like,
show that. We're not sponsored.
not sponsored. Well, I'm drinking.
'Cause
I'll say I'm drinking some Master Mary yet again.
Ooh, yeah.
Master Mary.
Yep.
Master Mary.
I was expecting Sailor Jerry, but fuck.
You and your Sailor Jerry every time.
Sailor Jerry, it's a
Sailor
fucking
Jerry.
rum. I don't know why I keep thinking of it. It's
Dunno.
weird. Just a
Fucking
rum
odd.
Sailor
See how many
Jerry.
of these? Let's see how many of these I can get through during the podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's a good mix.
Your tequila might be gone by the end of it.
About half a bottle of each. So yeah, probably.
well, without
Um,
further, I was gonna say, without further ado, before we go any further with the do or whatever we've got going on here,
The do.
we're gonna get the intro rolling. What's up, bearders and beardettes? Welcome back to another fine episode of the Beardy Bros Podcast.
Yeah.
And we've got Wookie back
Yeah.
yet again for another episode. It's been a while. I was
It's
looking
been
back.
a while. I've had a bit of a break from everything, focusing on work, and mainly because work went through the liquidation, and then I got hired by the new people. Even though they didn't tell me I'm hired, I just stuck around and I just hung around the office until they just told me to go, which I haven't told me to go yet. I'm upping the notch every single time. So I was dressing professional, and then I decided to wear shorts instead of regular pants.
Yep.
They're still gonna get rid of me, and then now I'm just wearing like just a hoodie and a shirt and shorts, and they still haven't fired me.
You know what you got to do, right? Wear a mankini in there.
No, well, it's because I'm actually doing the work that I was originally, and they just haven't said anything. They haven't even approached me saying you're hired for the new place. It was just like business as usual.
How the fuck do they get away with that? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
so you're not fired, but you are fired.
Yeah, something like that. I was kind of worried, like,
The middle ground?
just hang around. Middle ground. It was like very hazy, kind of like my background.
Well, they still
There's
need
no
the work, I guess.
communication there, I don't
Basically,
think.
while
Yeah,
they still need to
work.
do the work, like he's doing the work,
Yeah,
it's only gets to the
yeah.
point when they don't need him to do the work, it may disappear. Otherwise, he may just roll over. Like, just go, we'll just roll over.
Well,
Here's a
I'm-
new contract to sign, kind of thing. Here you go.
Well, they're waiting for you to actually quit.
They haven't even given me a new contract yet. Like,
That's
I'm
weird.
actually technically officially working for the new company,
Yep.
but unofficially, and I just rolled over, and then
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I'm just literally I'm in a position where they can't fire me to some extent because
Was
they
it just the
don't have anyone
scratch
else to
behind
do
the
the job. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just come in and I just drink their beer that they have in the fridge.
Hey, Wookie.
Um,
Hey, you can do it. Here, Wookie. Roll
Yeah,
over. Good Wookie. Good Wookie.
I just like
yeah.
just
That's crazy,
I mean,
though.
it works.
I
I guess
just rock up.
it's work. It's working. It's something. I guess. Like that's.
Yeah, I think the tip is just walk into a place and just start doing the job there.
I think people already do that.
And no, not even be like hired, just like look like that you actually work there to some extent, but don't actually have to look like you work there.
Yeah.
And then just and just give them your bank details, and hopefully HR goes, oh, okay, you must be working here, and then just start doing whatever you want, and just that's how it rolls over, right?
So that's how I become a pop. Wait, what?
I mean, that's
I was
self-made business.
tempted to walk into the local police station and just pick up a uniform and put that on, but apparently that's a crime. They can
impersonation of police officer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but if you are one, you're not impersonating one.
But
yeah, what happens if you just give their HR
plot twist? It was a strip club.
Exactly.
Strangely enough, where I live, I was on Marketplace, right?
Mm.
So I was on the Marketplace looking for a good deal, like fucking
finding
finding
those dresses for sale.
Find all the police uniforms.
Just looking for dresses, trying to find the size of my new girlfriend. I was
gonna say that
wedding dresses are always good. But no. I was on there, and how they have like rental places you can get, places full. People have been putting businesses on there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I've seen that pop up a couple of times. Honestly,
So I was.
He doesn't wear dresses
like,
too, does?
well, actually, that's why I was going to talk about that, but I want him to finish the story before I bring that up.
Yeah. You mean when I bought a dress for that party, right? That special party where we went to, yeah.
Yeah.
I've still got the photos. For you too. Yeah, you've your dress.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They fit really well. But besides the fact, when you see businesses on there now, some people like saying
I was going to say, it's the one where I lost my skirt at the end of the night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not with me. It didn't fit, so I wouldn't have taken it. I'm still content with my two dresses that I've had for years now. It's I like dressing up, as you can see, purple tracksuit.
I know. Last time we had you on, I'm sure you had that tracksuit on last time too.
I probably did.
So he hasn't changed in that whole time. We've not seen him for
No, don't assume, mate. Don't assume.
He's got 5 others.
I've got dresses.
No, I'm pretty sure he's been captured.
Yes.
he's
Someone rocked up with a bag, put it on my head.
I'm pretty sure he's been captured.
That's why I had to blur out the background. That's why I got to blur it out.
No. I've blurred it out because I'm actually in Ukraine.
Blink 3 times if you're in need of help.
No, I don't need help. I'm sitting in a bunker right now in Ukraine. I've muted out the sounds.
Click your fingers 4 times if you need help.
But I'm getting sidetracked.
Take a sip if you need help.
Yep. No. I need to fill this up again. So people have been putting businesses up.
Does all the sips.
Facebook
Help
Marketplace.
me!
And people have been putting cafes and that like there and businesses. So which is kind of like interesting.
Yeah.
But one of the ones in my local
How do you rent
area-
out a cafe?
No. They're offering the lease.
Oh.
They're selling the lease.
Pass it over.
Yeah. Or selling the whole business because they don't want to. But that comes to the conclusion as well. One of the things that popped up recently was my local strip joint.
Yep.
So that was up on sale on Facebook Marketplace for like $500K, which is actually not that bad.
That's not
not
bad.
Yeah, I think it was like 500, 600K or something like that. The whole business, like
even if you were to repurpose it from a strip club to a fucking pub or something, you know what I mean?
Hang on, does that mean the people as well?
Well,
everything.
It's definitely 100% strip club because it's I checked out location.
Yeah. But that's the thing with those places. They're ready to go. You've already got the taps hooked up. You could convert that. You could leave it as a strip club. That's what I'm saying. Or you could literally convert it into a pub without even having to do much because you've got the taps on hook. You've got everything there. The equipment's there. You could do anything with it. Like you could do anything. Like sports bar that just happened to have dancing girls.
It still had the liquor license, had the walk-in fridge, everything.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The poles, the stripper poles. So it was like, not bad. Like I was like, oh, okay, if I had the cash. But doing research, I don't think the reviews gave it any justice. So, and where I am, it's not really.
Few comes in walls.
No, I don't think it's like a business to really invest in unless you really, really, really wanted your own strip club for a while.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you'd make any money. I don't think if you could get girls.
It would take years.
You need the people.
Yeah, and the population up here isn't like
it's turned into a nightclub.
Urging for it, yeah, and the location as well. It was like somewhere in like some industrial area, so it was more.
Definitely be a pub.
Yeah.
Just to go from
Everyone
a strip
goes to a
club
pub
and turn it into more of a business where it's not just a strip club. So then you could allow in that derogative like
There's a certain
audience.
clientele for that, certain for that.
And then like you still have like your waitress maids and shit like that, but it's not really like strippers. You'd be a little bit more in between.
It's like a bar Hooters.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say
in a
is
way,
just
you're pulling a full demographic.
I'd say the quality locally it wouldn't actually be suitable for it. Just the local. I would say the locals wouldn't be like up for a strip joint.
How long has it been there? That's the question.
It's been there for a while, and
you gotta hook it up.
For it are like,
if you hook it up with your local fucking like tradie,
like why are they selling it?
Travel food vendor, yeah, that's exactly it.
Like I said, it's because it's just
selling meat pies and sausage rolls.
Location, it's just where it is. It's just terrible. Like,
well, say it's in the industrial.
They're pretty much moving somewhere else to do it.
If it's the industrial, like. Your tradies love your meat pies and sausage rolls. You just sell that there as well. Fucking sell your coffees and your pies and sausage rolls. Come in for a feed, have a beer. You have your waitresses, walking around. Your maids, waitresses, and yeah, like you always see them in like the tradies always love their fucking sausage rolls and shit. They always.
Oh, you mean like
They got
them 24/7.
It's like a pop-up food van, but it's a full fucking thing because everyone loves their fucking food vans. They always pop up in the tradie zones and they fucking sell fucking
that location.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think it's viable, but there's an offer out there. If someone wants a strip joint, buy a strip joint. Look, like who knows? Maybe your locals selling their local strip joint.
I reckon they'll buy it and demolish it for something else.
Yeah, you can tear it down, and make it for something.
But
that's what, because $500,000 for if it's a big bit of land, like, is it worth just for the land? Like, fuck.
Yeah, but you're buying the lease, so you won't own the property. You're just buying the business itself.
Yeah, it's actual the.
And from what I've researched,
you can't knock down a lease, can you?
No. From what I've assumed, it's just a terrible idea to buy that place.
So it shouldn't have been there.
I mean, well, a lot of leases, depending on the owners, you can do modifications.
It's better, like, I think because of the location, I think it's a terrible location. For what it is, if it's just a strip joint. If it was a brothel as well, hey, look,
I mean, you could convert it to that, really.
It might have been part of that, though.
Yeah, I know some seedy people. But present company included.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
But
I think you have it as like a bar strip brothel thing.
Sports club.
Oh, well, if you're gonna,
I thought it's sports, right?
You'd go down to the sports club, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you make it into one.
But there'd be two.
Oh well.
Because one's already established.
Do they have the maid waitresses?
Oh well, it's whatever it is.
Look at fucking nude waitresses.
Turn into a fucking friggin'.
You can't forget about the nude waiters either.
Pop culture strip club.
No.
Up next, we have Doom Girl coming up on stage. Come on down, Doom Girl. She's got the helmet on. It's just like doing the whole striptease with the helmet, just like. It's like, look at those guns. She's got one of those BFGs.
Actually, strangely enough,
that's not very inducing.
If I have to, like, I've been to a fair amount of strip clubs.
Like,
just saying. Who hasn't? And reminds me of Melbourne, right? Melbourne strip joints are different because they can't. You're not supposed to touch certain areas, whilst Brisbane and Queensland are kind of like,
whatever.
Whatever. You slip them a 50, you might be able to do more.
Slipping a 50, slipping some.
I'll just say, from experience, that Melbourne strip clubs are very much more like a burlesque, like a show. So it focuses on more.
It's more formal.
It's more formal. It's more like because they're doing a show. It's very elaborate.
Kind of like a 50s one, wouldn't it? Like in the 50s,
yeah, something like that. They kind of they do more of the tease rather than just the dare, and they'll do it up on stage like it's a very elaborate and very choreographed, you can say, compared to like Queensland strip joints are like kind of it's a 50, mate, and then you just it's very like
dances.
$5 lap dances. If you're familiar with like the cabaret in the valley, in Brisbane, where it's like you can get a quick $5 lap dance, and then it's kind of like the demo, you could say, of a game. You know, you
Yeah.
get to try it out, you know, for a little bit, but you don't get the full course. But you know,
But you
that's
get down south.
yeah, and down Melbourne. Like,
You're paying for the full
for-
thing. Like,
well, no, not really. The show itself is like you pay for entry, of course.
yeah.
And then you get the show, and that's kind of to entice you to kind of want to get the lap dance.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to the lap dance, it's more of the whole, you know, dance, you know, thing.
You basically just
Where, where Queensland, they'll still do the dance up on stage, but it's very like it's the same. Like, think of the same dance in Fortnite, but for every single stripper.
Oh,
Oh, and if it does vary, it's same thing. It's just another type of dance that they've just bought from Fortnite.
Yeah.
oh, Jesus.
So they'll
Same.
just do like they'll spin the pole. And
I mean, there's only so many moves you can do on a pole or sitting on someone's lap. Like, there's not many things.
Yeah,
you can...
exactly.
Yeah, but
And not
Fortnite dances?
yeah, you're not them sitting there doing the whole thing. Shit. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's just my breakdown of strippers from different, you know, places. Especially from Queensland to Melbourne. It's very different, vast, and kind of... you can say Melbourne's a little bit more classier. Compared to Queensland, they just kind of like get to... We want your money. Here's the stock standard dance that we've
all learned in our time.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone, even you could do it.
Yeah, I could do it. I've been to a strip joint in Thailand, and I was up on stage. I can even post... if you find my socials... my Instagram, I'm pretty sure that there's the photo still there of me up on stage in a place in Thailand, and I'm dancing up on stage in the strip joint, and telling you I've got, and it's completely normal because I've still got the same junk downstairs as the ladies dancing up there. So it's completely it's everyone could do it.
Yeah, it's not far off, is it? Really? Fuck.
Fucking.
No.
Ah.
Or at least
I know. I figured Thailand.
Fucking Thailand.
Yeah.
Fucking
So, you know, just saying that, I've been to
Bangkok.
many strip joints. It was strangely enough, it was in Bangkok, and you know,
And you did literally.
Bangkok.
So
Yeah,
the irony is fucking there. Like, yeah.
it's just the two people.
Oh, fucking hell.
Just yeah. I'm not gonna get no. It's I'm on my second margarita. It's gonna.
I can't tell you what the Tassie ones are like because I've never been. So probably the same as Melbourne, I guess. Well, probably a bit of both, maybe. Who knows?
I
know some people who work there, and it's fucking wild on the weekends.
That's the thing. Whenever I go, it's always with a group.
You never go alone.
Well, last time I went was like what? Probably January. Yeah, January. No, it was last year. It was near the end of last year.
It wasn't when wasn't it that thing? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I went for my mate's birthday.
Yeah.
And it was like, it got wild. Because fucking,
I
was out front.
I think you mentioned that last time. I'm not sure.
No, well, yeah, I went for a friend's birthday, and then he was, we went to 2 strip joints that night. Before that, we went to, like, some comic book cocktail bar that's in the valley.
Yep.
We were there for a while. Like, it was pretty good. We got pretty shit faces, like, fancy cocktails. You know, pretty much like that. The usual, like with some cocktail bars, they'll just have what's on list.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it. I'll serve food, and it's the same thing in and out. It's like a fancy.
Unless you know the people, and then you ask for a certain, and they'll make it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, creativity and with it all. But yeah, that was my gripe. Was kind of like, well, they could have had a little bit more variety. If they're just going to use like the same ingredients over and over again, they could have actually done something.
It's just a one-trick pony, really. Like you're making the one drink multiple times. Like
Well, that's the thing with the valley. Like every couple of years, some bars just die unless they have consistent clientele, and then another.
But you do need variety. Like
yeah. Not just that. You need
regular business. You always need regular business. Like that's any business.
A gimmick can work for so long, but then because a new bunch of people come along, like people stop going, like. You know, people grow up and stop going. The
phases.
Bars,
it's like phases. Phases change.
You'll have a new
Here's my bar to a pub. Like pubs are nice and chill for the what's that like 40 plus maybe.
Well, you can't go wrong with a pub. You can't
Nah.
go wrong with a pub because the
Well, you got
pub's
your 8-ball, your dart, you just chill, you listen to music. Like,
Oh, the
fuck.
last time I saw darts at a bar was probably about 10, 15 years ago. So
Oh, fuck, really?
Yeah, they took them out
yeah,
because of hazards.
yeah, health and safety. They can't have
Fuck
darts
me.
at
Are they
bars.
afraid of darts now? Like,
No, people were literally being violent with darts.
Yeah, people would throw them.
that's
and
Queensland for you.
throw.
Fuck.
Yeah, you can't have darts. You got those shitty magnetic darts or whatever, suction cups.
Oh,
or
fuck off.
Yeah, people were getting drunk and stabbing people and stuff.
Yeah, the only thing that pubs have now is pool tables.
You sure they got those? The fucking sticks or weapons? The cues? Oh.
No, they still got them. Because
I use them as a lightsaber.
And the other thing they'll have mostly is pokies, because that's how they make their money.
Pokies the biggest one.
Pokies the bigger one. Or they'll bring in other things like occasionally you might have karaoke night, or like bingo or some shit.
But,
Bingo, I haven't seen that for like 20 years. Fuck.
Oh, really? Fuck. Bingo's the greatest thing ever.
But you know what I mean, like
Best
bars.
thing is fried rice.
Pubs are consistent.
I love
bars,
bingo. Fucking, I need to do it again.
Types of bars, depending on the gimmick, some can last a bit longer than others. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like as I was saying, as one kind of generation kind of moves on, another bar pops up in its place because the novelty fades away.
Sometimes it's bigger and better. Sometimes it just stagnates.
Some things last a bit longer than others, like gaming bars now.
They need to move with the times too, especially.
Well, not just that. It's like depending
trending.
on what they've got, what they offer. Yeah.
Gaming bars are a niche.
Because that's like the one that
gamers don't go out that often.
Well, the one in the Valley.
There's the arcade bar in the Valley. That one's good. That's been consistent.
Because that one's got the arcade machines. Like that's why I think that works. Because we actually had a gaming bar, which was
Arcade
what was it called
machines.
again? I forgot the name of it now. It was Remember?
There's been a few. There's been a few. There was the Mana Bar.
The Mana Bar. That's it. I forgot the name of it.
Was there was several part owners.
That's messy.
Oh no!
It didn't really move. That's the reason.
I mean, if there's part owners, they've all got to agree to certain.
Well, they planned on franchising it, so they opened up a second Mana Bar in Melbourne a few years, like a year after that, a year or two after that. But it barely opened up. It's like. But not because of the niche. I think there was some issues as well.
Well, they got their own there. Like, you can't just barge in and just go, hey, we're going to put this.
Especially when you got other competition.
Like, jeez.
I think one of the ones that gave the really good... Mana Bar was great. It gave a good atmosphere when it opened up.
I think it definitely gave a forefront of what we could have. Like, it was like, this is what you can bring.
It was one of the ones that broke the molds for Australia, because Australia is kind of like behind, whilst like, you go overseas, they've got...
Because we've just got the standard bar and...
We're so used
bar,
to it.
pool, not darts.
Like, deviate from that as much.
Well, you can't because everyone plays pool. Like...
Well, that was like...
No, I don't mean like... I mean the formula, the basic formula for a bar or a cocktail bar or a bar itself. Like,
that's all it
something
was, really.
will come along, it'll be like a big fad, but after a while, either the novelty
Because that's all the Mana Bar was. It was like basically just a cocktail bar, but you could play video games there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was very niche. It was definitely very niche, because when I finally went to it, it was just very niche. It just felt like you go in there, it had the bar at the back, people could sit around and just chit chat. It was more like a cafe. It was like a cafe that you could drink alcohol in, kind of.
Well, that's only because the place was small. That was its biggest.
But the vibe, because it was like hang around, play some games, chit chat, and it wasn't really like the party kind of which people want. It's the party vibe. People like to kind of like get into the groove and have drinks. Like, it was just like everyone's just literally sitting around drinking and just chit chat. Like, it was very chill vibes. Like, no one was really like
like a restaurant cafe.
Yeah, it was like that. It was a drinking restaurant, and that's it. There was no like full on party going on, which most of these clubs have.
Which is what you do pubs, need. You need some of that. You need to integrate all of them into one.
You'd sit down.
You've got your pokies. Take that out. Put in the gaming stuff, or put them both like in unison.
Well, one of the places
and serve the rest of your bar. Like,
some of the places have done really well. I do have to say, going back to Melbourne, Fortress is fantastic because during the day it's a pub. It's like a pub. You can get a feed there. You can have a drink. You can hire out the game computers, or you can play the arcade machines. That's terrific. Also, atmosphere during the day. Then even at night time, same thing. But then also
changes.
It just kind of changes. They've got the cocktail bars there, cocktails there as well. So it's got the whole thing. Like,
yeah, we got some of those here. Like, they during the day they're either closed or they're just like an average pub. Then at night time, about 10 p.m., they open up to a nightclub or.
Well, GGE's is also a great place as well. For the fact that it's kind of because it's an esports bar, and it's kind of like they've got all the esports playing on the screen, so you can go when like your favorite game's on. Go there not for a nice cocktail, and it does have that atmosphere of like the whole, everyone's having fun kind of thing, especially during PAX. Fantastic during PAX. Another place is Bartronica, that's also in Melbourne, which is one of those, the whole formula of the arcade bar. So same thing with the what's the name?
Is it Netherworld we have? Is that one?
We've got Neverworld. Neverworld works really well as well. It's kind of a little bit more on the, for me, the hipster side as well, because they brew their own beer and all that kind of stuff. It's like it's
local
very
built-in,
local built-in. You can get food there as well, and it's all like vegan, and so it's very it's good for the university crowd too. It's still reasonably priced, cheap. And the arcade machines too. You've got
Bartronica looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, Bartronica's good. It's a little bit cramped to some extent if you're going to have a lot more people running through there. But
because it looks like there's a lot of pinball arcade. It's like very narrow hallway.
Very narrow. It reminds me of like the classic arcade places that.
Because I mean, you usually be hitting all that stuff up again for PAX anyway, won't you?
Yeah.
Like last time.
Yeah, there's also another gaming convention popping up very soon in Melbourne. I think it's next month.
Oh, jeez.
It's game.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I'm looking. Well, I'm looking at hitting up Supernova in April. Is it the Gold Coast? Because it's my birthday. So I was thinking of actually going to a con again, like for my birthday.
For Gold Coast, isn't it like already, or is that next month?
April.
Or did they move it?
April.
Oh, it's April.
It's on my birthday weekend again.
So the Melbourne Convention is having the Game Expo, which is on March 11th to 12th.
Jeez.
That's 13.
It is 13 days away.
Fuck! I didn't even know of that one happening. It just came out of nowhere.
How much was that though?
It was talked about last year, at the end of last year.
I didn't hear it.
And then it just kind of it's kind of like, for some people it went underneath the radar, but for me it kind of just popped up. And went, okay. And I was looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so tempted to go. I could use some time off. Hopefully, with all this work stuff happening, I was kind of like put it on hold. It would have been still nice. Like I've got enough flight points to kind of get me down there and back. Nothing. So that means you just got to worry about accommodation.
That's it.
So, that was the idea. It'd be great to go, but I'm kind of out of the loop of the gaming stuff to some extent. I still kind of
is it like what kind of gaming is it? Like video games, or is it like board games and stuff like that?
It's everything.
Everything
it's
games.
Literally everything games.
Because I remember they used to be big, like all the board game stuff. So like be big for like your D&D. I knew there's different things like that used to happen. They don't really seem to happen as often.
Yeah, so they'll have Crunchyroll there, EA there, Ubisoft will be there.
Oh wow! So
I think it's a good timing as well because of E3.
So it's kind of like because it's like an E3 like mini packs kind of E3ish.
Yeah.
Because E3's gone. Like E3's not coming back.
Well, it's no, it's not gone. It's coming back this year.
I don't think it is. I think like Xbox pulled out, Nintendo pulled out, everything now. Pretty sure E3's gone.
I thought E3
they were trying to come back, but it was too late. Like it was too.
No, Sony pretty much killed it when they left it.
It's happening this year on June.
Yeah, but who's going to be there though? That's the thing. Because
I think Nintendo and Microsoft are.
I know
Nintendo's not going to be there.
Nintendo is officially not going to be there.
There's Xbox,
Xbox or Sony.
That's what I mean.
There's no one there apart from like third-party stuff, which is
Okay, think of it this way. So, notice some of the games that have been coming out lately. Atomic Heart, for example.
Yeah.
That's not a part of Sony or Xbox or thing. Like, there may be,
It's going to like go back to like the OG kind of way where E3 kind of first started. Kind of basically what you...
my theory is if the...
It's only for
it'd be very
the higher ups anyway. Like...
All of the other...
Well, like, if they're going to go back to the original E3, they wouldn't have people there. It's just going to be industry people, so it's just going to be industry convention.
That's what it seems like.
Well, I think that, like, I keep...
And then it might entice the bigs to come back kind of thing if they start flowing again, getting people to come in and...
I think it's just going to be, one of those work shows where they just basically show off a bunch of stuff for the gaming industry. Like, hey, look, we're using the new gear. Games they're trying to pick up, like they've got a developer but they don't have a publisher, kind of maybe.
Yeah, indie
like,
stuff.
Like
they're just trying to show off their stuff they've been making over the last years.
But, like the last 2 years, I've been seeing a lot of great games coming from indies.
Oh yeah,
like independent guys have just been like, hey, look, I don't have a publisher. Like Ironheart.
I mean, you don't need a publisher. You just need good marketing.
Yeah. But like, for example, Ironheart, for me, like when I first heard about it, I didn't know who they were attached to. I just knew it was a developer making a game. I didn't know like who was publishing it, all that kind of stuff. And now, for me, it was like one of the games of this year.
Is that Tarkov, right? That was just a random drop.
Tarkov as well. Tarkov was like just developers that didn't.
Ark happened 2014, so then they dropped that on PC like just out of nowhere.
Yeah. So there's a lot of diamond, like you can say diamond and rough, and at the same time,
it would make sense. Just like now, back to the way
it's just you have to
keep for everyone. So
on top of it, so you know what's coming out, and if it piques your interest, keep an eye on it.
Because I mean, even PAX has like indie developers for stuff to go to, but like they can be overshadowed, like it can be overflooded by everything else that's going on. So if we have an E3 where there's no Sony, no Microsoft, no Nintendo, there's no big shadows to overcast everything, and
there's still EA, Ubisoft, Capcom, Konami.
They're not going around going like, "Oh, we're going to overshadow. Here's 50 games we're releasing. Here's 50 games."
Yeah. Ubisoft would.
Games,
It doesn't have to have those big companies as well. There's also the other big companies that do peripheral.
Embracer Corp.
Yeah,
they've got like the biggest gaming fucking ecosystem ever.
Yeah, so it's. But, who knows, like, the wave conventions, I know companies have realised after COVID that they don't need physical locations to start selling their products.
Do it all online, do it on YouTube, Twitch.
Make fun videos, like, this thing, make creative, like, budget stuff, like...
Well, that's what Sony did. They're like, fuck you guys, do their own set of plays and
they don't have to pay E3, like, fees as well. They don't have to pay any of those fees for anything.
And they can just throw their money at streamers. They can promote the shit out of it, too. So, but it is nice to take a step back and kind of go, I'd love to go to a convention because the feeling that you have, the atmosphere, like you actually get to physically be at stuff just behind computer games. You got to you got to have that healthy medium as well. That's what I think. Rather than just, if you're going to be behind a computer playing video games all day and go to work, be behind a computer, you need that healthy medium. You need an excuse
to go out and have a look around.
And make you appreciate the stuff that you are going to be hyped up for and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it's not just that, but you get to talk to the makers who are making your favorite game. Like,
exactly. And there's no point kind of like being like you're not going to be there. Like, it's nice to sit down for a Q&A sometimes.
And just listen.
Exactly. Talk to you.
Well, they give you an insight you wouldn't get, like, normally.
Sure, you can watch interviews and stuff like that and make your own time.
Yeah, but that's certain. That's usually from big companies who they have a certain question set, which is the basic fucking thing.
You can't just ask your personal question that you won't always ask.
It's always gameplay stories. Like, I want to know other things. Like, fuck.
Yeah. I've sat down. Sat down to with developers and all that kind of stuff, and I've had I was able to ask the questions that I wanted to ask. And just find out it.
Within reason, right? Like, you can't just ask anything.
Well, like, do you want tequila or vodka shots? I don't, stuff like that. But what I mean. But no, it's having the atmosphere. It's going out, seeing like-minded people as well. You just can't always experience things behind a screen because after COVID, it was kind of like a longer period than we should have. Being locked up inside, so you need to have those.
2 full years nearly, like fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Like I understand.
For a lot of people,
I understand companies don't want to go to conventions and show off their stuff, because
they will now.
It's cheaper not to do so. They can just do it all online. But where's the fun in that?
You need the hands-on. You need the interaction.
You need exactly. You need this. Need to actually.
Isn't it like the salesman thing? It's like there's I can't remember what the phrase is, but it's basically like any kind of salesman kind of proposition is, you want to see the genuinity, but like being in front of the person and actually communicating and shaking their hand,
and you get to see the game there
knowing
early,
the person that's selling the product. You want to know the person. You trust. It's easier to trust someone and better.
Do you imagine soon enough, Devs are knocking on your door?
Hey,
There's like the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to talk to you about a new game we're making. Like,
Yeah.
That'd be
But
funny.
it's
that'd be so cool, actually.
Also, it's nice to go to a convention and finding those
They want input.
diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
Like the indie section at conventions, gaming conventions are fantastic because you can see all the diamonds in the rough. You can kind of go, I would love to play that game. Or it's like you're seeing people that think like you to some extent and they're actually making the games that you always wanted to see. And the big big companies that make all these big Assassin's Creeds and all that kind of stuff. You've seen that it's like copy and paste every year for like Call of Duty as well. And the reason why you go to conventions is like to see people like locally that are actually like, hey, look, I'd love to see this. And exactly. I come from the
well, they do take your input like and for future things.
Some of them
like
will take feedback. They even had like Q&A like little surveys you can fill out like those like their stands, and they'll get you to put in a box, and then they'll go for revisions because they're still only in early access.
And you get to play the game in front of developers, and they can see the reaction face to face rather than
if it's boring, if it's exciting, if it's scary, like
a bunch of ticks like they like this section. It's like why, or like you don't physically see that interaction as well. And for me, it's also just like I said, seeing the diamond in the rough and kind of going, hey, look, this is great. Like, you may make a suggestion to something like a developer, an indie thing, like, hey, look, it'd be better if they did that. If you see it in the final product, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Or it's.
Yeah, you look at CD Projekt Red. They put everyone's input into the games they make, like in person, online, like that. They'll put it in there if they can, like.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like I scour YouTube to find games that are coming up.
Yeah.
Like the day before.
yeah.
Talked about that plenty of times on the podcast and videos I've made for the channel.
I was keen for it the day before for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Atomic Heart for the last like 2 or 3 years. Suicide Squad, fucking Cyberpunk, and they all come out shit. Like
yeah. Well, no, Atomic Heart was actually a good one.
It's okay, fairly. Well, I haven't had a chance to play it yet because every time I try and fucking download on my PC, it fucks something up, and I'm just like, fuck your shit, flip the table, and just fucking walk out. So.
Yeah, that's your fault, mate. Not the game.
Oh, it's the
game's
game.
hard though. Like fucking hell.
It's Xbox.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's like it's nice to see these Diamond Roughs games that you'd like to see be made. But if they do fail, it doesn't mean that's like, for example, some games.
It's a step because it's like their first game.
Yeah, it's the first game. Like if this fails, that's a bad thing. Like,
and I said it's doing pretty good, but like it's doing pretty good for their first game. Like it's understandable as well. They get that leeway. Just if they can show this kind of stuff off, like it shows like okay, this is pretty decent. We can do more. Like what's the next thing we can?
They even self-published it. Like fuck. For their first game, which means you can do that if you've got they had good marketing behind it.
Yeah, well, it's a mixed bag. Like, remember when what's that game? That space game? Yeah, the one where you can
Starfield.
No, not Starfield.
The No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. When that came out, it was shit.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
He hyped it up way too much.
That was marketing.
They overpromised. No, Sean Murray himself overpromised, like his own words at E3.
Yeah.
But that was one of the ones you know they eventually came back and made it way better. You're hoping that with some games they do that. When it comes down to, for example, the day before though.
Well, Fantastic, they don't do none of that. They've like every time they've had a game that they've. If I've cut you off, if you want to say it, sorry, but like every time they've made a game and it goes, oh, it's an incline, drop it, sell it to a publisher. We've got nothing to do with it. Like every time, Fantastic has just dropped the game. Like they haven't bothered to put the extra work in, make it better. Okay, this is what they're telling us is wrong. Let's work on that and fix it. They're just like, no one wants. Like we're done with it.
Yeah. The last video they showed, it was funny because you could see all the assets that were like, stolen. Oh, you could buy that stock standard asset for a game.
Not stolen, but yeah.
It was all like
from the Unity or Unreal or whatever it is. Like it's all the stuff you can buy from.
All stuff you can buy from the store for credit. but that's fine. They could
like that's the purpose of it. Like you're literally allowed to it's in the agreement when you pay for this, you can use it for your game. Like that's legal. Exactly. Like that's not a bad thing. But it like you're saying is basically what all they've done is what anyone else has done is just bought everything. They're just gone, oh, let's do Microsoft and buy that. Like let's make a game that we didn't actually make because we bought everything.
and it was like a far fall from what we expected. Especially from that first video. And
the only other game that they've done that's done semi-okay that's now died was like Prop Night. And then they just kept shoving everything down its throat and it made it like a stupid game, and I think that's what killed it. Is because they're like, let's just chuck all this shit into it. And it's just like fucking overdone it. And then there's like all these other games that people don't even know of because they've delisted from their website the games they've made because they sold it to the publishers because they failed and they didn't want to give it any extra love. And they're just like, fuck, we don't know what we're doing. Sell it off and that's it. There's there's 3 or 4 games that they've made they don't want to have anything to do with. Like it's fucked.
Yeah. One game I was actually also excited about that I just saw recently was there was a first-person shooter, Starship Troopers, coming out.
Yes.
Oh, that looked fucking good.
That looked fun. But sadly enough, I think it's going to be one of those games where it does come out. Either it's going to hit or miss with people.
Well, it's a niche game. Like Starship Troopers is very niche.
Because either you're like, oh, you're a Starship Troopers fan, you want to play it, but then
you get it ASAP. Like,
yeah, you'll get it ASAP. But then it's kind of like, is anyone else going to play it?
Me with Ghostbusters, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I gotta get it. Bought it, Ghostbusters. When did that come out? When did Ghostbusters come out on console? When was that now?
Year?
Last year.
Last year.
And I played it like that once or whatever. I haven't touched it.
You haven't played it since, have you?
I haven't played it since.
Yeah, but
it's exactly the same thing. It's the same thing. Like,
which the irony.
I do want to play more of it. It wasn't too bad. But...
Yo, that's a single player game still. Like that. Starship Troopers, I think it's single player with multiplayer.
No, Ghostbusters multiplayer.
It's multiplayer. It's co-op.
No, the Starship Troopers
multiplayer.
Yes, Starship Troopers. It does look like it's multiplayer. So
if Ghostbusters ever goes on special, I'll buy it for everyone so we can all play Ghostbusters.
Also, I did some research about Atomic Heart. That was their first game. They founded it in 2017, and they've only got a team of 50 people.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
The game looks fantastic.
And they made that that's insane in a few years. Like
I was surprised they managed to get Jensen Ackles for an ad. For that game.
Yeah,
that's fucking marketing for you.
That was good marketing, especially it was good timing. I think that game fantastic from what I've seen.
I mean, I can't understand because I have been listening to the game and the guy does kind of sound a little bit like him. Not much, but they feel like the attitude,
dickhead.
Like it's trying to be like him and sound like him, and that's why I can understand why they grabbed Jensen for the ad. Because I was trying to figure out like why him, why choose him like out of all celebrities to, you could choose from to like pay to.
I'd go Keanu Reeves.
But it makes sense, like because he didn't really look anything like him. But once you hear the personality, and it's like something that Jensen would actually play in like he would play that kind of character. So it makes sense, like, why they went with that. So that's a thought in detail. They go, they specifically go, we want this person because our character matches this actor's character
they're passionate
styles.
about that game. Like, they'll do anything to get it to sell.
That's pretty good. Like, that's what I mean. Some people just go, let's do anything we can sell. So they'll hire someone to promote it. Like, let's just get this person, and,
Crackdown 3, right?
Yeah, exactly. He felt so out of place with that, like, 100%.
Terry Crews didn't look like he wanted to do it at all.
Well, even like the voice acting, like when he swears and stuff, the swearing feels so forced. It doesn't feel like it's natural. Like when Brendan Fraser swears and stuff, that sounds natural. But
no, it doesn't. I mean, it does in Doom Patrol, nothing else.
That's what I'm saying though. Like it doesn't feel extremely forced. Like where Terry Crews said, like every time he's playing, he just felt forced.
Him talking, like it's just him doing that.
But, the controversy behind that game.
What?
Well, because it's like supporting Russia in some way, because it's saying...
but it's not.
It's not, I know, exactly. Because
they're from Cyprus.
Yeah, I know, but you know how stupid people are.
Because the Russian theme, yeah.
Like, it's supporting Russia. It's like, well, because there's the Russia and Ukraine war, and it's like it's supporting that. Like, well, it's...
Russia's not bad. It's the dickhead who controls Russia is bad. Like,
yeah, don't condemn a whole people because their leader has their.
Well, I'm not even going to get into that. Fuck that.
It's like
we had a rant about this the other night. We fucking had a whole.
Yeah.
Me and Jim had a whole rant about it the other night.
I'm
fucking.
just saying it's the same breath of like you shouldn't condemn our leader because they're a dick as well.
Yeah,
like it's the you can't condemn the policies of our leaders. All you can do is have the people rise up and correct the error, either through their voting.
I mean, it's the same way people are acting with the whole
but
Atomic
voting
Heart
doesn't
thing.
work because it's all rigged, bro.
No, but the same. Like, I
everywhere.
I don't want to get into it, but it's the same thing we've had, which I've avoided from the other things where I've kind of tippy-toed on, because I don't want to bring it up because I'm just tired of hearing it. But it's the same thing with like the fucking Hogwarts thing, where it's just like because there's some agenda behind it. Oh, don't play the game because it's supporting that. It always seems to be the new thing now. It's like, oh, because this person did this. If we're going to start doing that, or if you're all going to start doing that, then stop using your phones. Stop using Google. Yep. Stop using Apple. Stop using Disney+. Stop going to Disneyland. Stop eating bread. Like, everything you do is run by some kind of racist, sexist, like, abuser. Yep. Like, they're you can't. You don't want to support them.
Well, I showed you that video.
Support them. Like, it's fucked.
Remember that video? It was like you're supporting this, but you don't support this, but you're supporting Twitter, which
exactly.
Elon Musk is
like
the same way.
Like you may not agree with these people, but like
it's an African man who gets to own a company with a smaller name. He's from Africa, man. You just can't diss.
Isn't he South African?
Semantics, man, semantics.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, it's if we're gonna start getting nitpicky like that, these people that are out here that are complaining about these things need to actually look at what other things they're supporting. Like, there's all these people that are like against that, but then they'll buy like whatever brand of clothing that they like. Look at where their clothing line supports. They'll be like, oh, I'm against trans, like fucking people being abusive to trans stuff, but then I'll buy this brand of clothing. But then you look at them, they support child labor because your fucking clothes materials come from China. Like everything supports like
from Bangladesh, China, fucking
you're not gonna be. You can't nitpick and choose what you want to do. Like you gotta
cherry pick. Like there's a huge amount of hypocrisy done with people, and people that start wagging fingers and saying, "Oh, you do this because if you play this game, you're supporting blah blah."
I don't care. I'll fucking play it.
But then you look back to the history of it and the reason why they're doing it the same. It was just, it's stupid in the first place.
Everything's stupid. All of it's
stupid. Devs.
Fuck. And like I said, if you play Hogwarts, play Hogwarts.
Not even that. If I'm gonna buy this thing that's made in China, I'm supporting that kid for 50 cents, not even 50 cents an hour. I don't know what he's getting paid. Like, I'm supporting him. He needs a wage. He needs a living. That's why I fucking make sure I keep buying my shit made in China. Like, fuck. Like, he still needs that food on the table.
Everything we do is
hypocritical.
It's hypocritical. Because, like, if you stand for something, that's great.
It's got to be something worth standing for, because a lot of it isn't.
You got me started now. I didn't want to fucking talk about it. But the hypocrisy of these people doing these things, there's these literal people that are like in one side of things, they're like, because I was talking to another friend today, he showed me about the other day, and it's like that. It's like in one side of social media, they're like, I'm not playing Hogwarts. I'm fine with if you want to play it. Like this is one. Like if you want to play it, you don't play it. So be it. You do what you want to do. But this person I could understand at first going like, if you don't want to play the game, I'm not going to hate you for it. Like I'm against the game. This is how this person is. Like I'm against the game. If you like the game, that's you. Like I'm not going to hate you for it. But don't come to me supporting it. Like that's understandable. It's the same way. Like, don't come to me abusing me going, why I shouldn't play this game. It's the same thing as don't go to someone going, whoa, you should play the game. You should support it. Like, that's the same thing. Like, let them choose what their choice is and be done with it. But then coming back to their other platform. So this was on one platform they posted going, which I'm like, okay, that's a reasonable choice. That's reasonable. Come back to another platform and they're literally on their server, their Discord server's like, if you support this game, leave our server now because we're going to ban you if you play this game and we see you playing this game. It's like... double standards much? First you have your public post being like, oh, I'm fine with this, but then you're having your Discord server going, if you're going to support this game and we see it in this server, you're done. Like, that's double standards. Like, you're saying you're fine with it, but then your server's not. Like, come on, what the fuck? Like, I'll call you out on that. Like, that's hypocrisy. Like, let people be on your server. If you're going to shun people for not being in your server and playing this game, you're being the exact same thing that you're trying to support.
If you want to know the thing, Des, I retweeted something calling out hypocrisy. There's one for you to read. It's on there somewhere. Like I just retweeted it earlier.
But yeah, and it's just like that's what I mean. Like this is hypocrisy. People going on about like one type of people. Well, I'm not trying to be derogative here, but like you got people getting mad because someone's getting mad at one
game. Play it.
One group of people, but they're doing the exact same thing that they're trying to be against happening to these people in the first place. You're doing the exact same thing to another group of people. Like we're just going around going, don't do that because we don't like that, and you're doing the exact same thing that you didn't want them to do in the first place.
If you don't like it, you don't have to play it.
It's just the hypocrisy. Everything's and that's always the thing when it comes to it.
Don't force other people to be a part of your cause. That's one of the biggest things that you do, because all you're going to do is turn them away from like course in the first place. Like, it's stupid. Like people that do that are just idiots.
Like that's like clear.
Like just idiots.
That's exactly it. Like I've always been one of the most open people. It's like I don't care what you do. If you want to be trans, whatever, like go for it. But then when they don't start forcing things. Like I said, don't start forcing a directive on someone. If I can't force that directive back, you can't come to me going, oh, because you're not dating a trans person, you're transphobic. Then it's like, well, why I can't be forcing the same thing going, you should be dating a straight person. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. You can't push one thing if you don't want to take it back. Like, exactly. But you can't be pushing something that you're not going to accept to take the same thing back. Like, you can't.
Exactly.
And that's what I mean. Like, I'll dish out what I'll take back. Like, I'm open. So, like, I'll speak how I'm going to speak it. And I'm willing to take that back. Like, I'm willing to call someone a dickhead, and I'm willing to take that back. Like, I'm willing to someone to call me a dickhead. Like, it's the same thing. You can't be going around saying one thing to someone if you're not going to be taking that back. Like, it's
But like I said, most of the people that take on and do causes like that are massive hypocrites
100%
in their everyday life, and it's also a number of other things. Like they don't have anything else. Life is boring, right?
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. That's basically what it comes down to. Is it's just a whole bunch of tension. They're bored.
Boring.
And they need something to share about.
Can't they take on and do?
You know what they need to be sharing? You know what they need to be sharing? They need to be sharing this podcast and watching The Last of Us.
Drinking margaritas.
We've been going for 50 minutes. We haven't even talked about The Last of Us that I wanted to talk about. Usually we get that out of the way first. We're now 50 minutes into the episode. I'm going to be honest. The Last of Us isn't the end of the episode. I'm not talking about the end of the episode. We're at the midpoint. This episode's going for like 2 hours. We've got Wookie on. This episode's going fucking far too long. We know it does. It always happens when we have Wookie on here. I'm being honest right now. It's going to be a 3-hour episode. Suck it up. Fucking 4-hour episode. Fuck that.
There was also a movie I want to talk about. Trailer dropped recently.
But I will talk about Last of Us, and we can come to that. So, because Jim pointed this out to me, and I wanted to bring this up because we've been covering The Last of Us every week. So it's been a thing we've been doing. Every episode drops. We've been covering different parts of it. So you haven't watched it, but we're going to get into it. I just want to get into it, get out of the way.
I'm going to go pee.
Yeah, he's going to go pee. We're going to talk about it. He doesn't want to get spoilers.
I don't want to hear spoilers.
No, so he's gone. He's going to a pee. He needs to. He's fucking gone through his drinks.
Can we do it quick before we go break?
But yeah, so we're getting into it. So this episode this week has been pretty cool because we got 2 locations in this episode. We got Jackson and we got the university, which was interesting.
We got Jackson and part of the university.
Like that university part, they just skimmed through it real fucking quick.
They got there, they went to the room, and they left.
But what I wanted to bring up is I was rewatching. Monkeys was great, but I wanted to rewatch. I rewatched it with you the other day, and the thing you pointed out to me that I didn't even know of when I first saw it was the bloody. My head's crimpled. Imagine if you did that, and my head's like, like. But anyway, was you pointed out to me was the film crew. I didn't even know that it was a thing, and you pointed out to me that you could see the film crew on the set, and I was like, no, and I was like, yes.
You can see a few people there. Some below, some up a little bit more. Like
there's the cameras. They even had like the snow cloth over it, like the snow tent over the cameras and stuff to hide half of it, so you couldn't see it. But then you could still see it in the shot.
The shot was a bit too wide.
A drone shot, but on my version, it didn't have the black stuff. I did say this to you. The black that usually has in a shot, it wasn't there, and it was fully zoomed in. So I only just got part of it on my screen. So that's why I missed it.
Just like normal
and that's why I missed it. So I didn't think none the wise until I watched.
Mine was fully there.
And I was like, oh, you can see everything. There's a guy there, a sign saying filming in progress here, another park tent up the other side, and I was like, damn. Like, you can see the start of the crane for the other one when they used for the other shot and stuff, and I was like,
right?
Jesus Christ. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Like, we've seen the things slip up before in many shows.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones and the Starbucks cup.
I think you have to have a show needs to have one of those moments to really bring it back together. Like, really bring the show... You know what I mean, though? I feel like you can't not have a show not have a moment like that. Nothing's that perfect. You know what I mean?
Well, shows are usually. It's just a few that have a little thing like that.
But yeah, so... I know, I enjoyed it. It was nice to see
it's not a bad thing.
And,
It's not going to make you say, oh, this is terrible, fuck this show. Like, it's just there. It's just to get some crew in the corner. Like, fuck.
But no, I do like that we got some of the, like, we still got the references that they played along with from the game and stuff, like the dam, like the quotes from the dam and stuff like that. That was pretty funny. They had that little joke like, don't ask me how it works, you know.
Ask me how it works, I don't know.
But it was done differently, but with, like, everything paced similar, but different still, like the rest, like how the show's been doing it, basically, where it's similar in what the game has given us, but there's
it'll make more
changes.
sense if you sit down and watch from episode 1 to 9. If you do it all in one thing, it'll make a lot more sense than just like, every week.
I'm definitely planning of doing it because we have said at the end of the show we are going to go back and have like another podcast, like an episode to go over the whole
another
show.
podcast.
Like, well, I don't know whether if we're going to have a separate video is what I'm basically is if we're going to do a standalone Last of Us video that's not a podcast, which is maybe a Last of Us breakdown.
The last one, the Beardy Bros.
And we could like go through of like I've said, like where we go through it and like go through our best moments from the whole, like after we all sit down and do a rewatch again kind of thing. We can get our best moments out of it and talk about it. Because there's so many different things that have happened in the show, like that you can remember that we don't remember, and it's just been great. Like I've been watching.
We'll do a 9-hour podcast. Do it live.
Oh fucking hell! Sitting here watching it while we're fucking. No.
Hey, you'll get live reaction if you do it then. Like, fuck.
Oh god, and we'll actually get fucking live friggin' cease and desist.
Why?
Watching the show while we're.
No, if you just like this, we just watch it and do the reaction. Like, fuck. For 9 hours, just gonna go.
But no, it was a different take though. Like we saw Joel like have anxiety panic attacks. They played that route a little bit different. They changed a few sequences and stuff there, which isn't too bad. Like, but it was the fact that I was like,
it fits for the show. Like it wouldn't fit the game, but it does for the show.
Like the pacing and stuff. 'Cause it was 3 months later. Like we saw Jackson. Instead of like how we saw the dam base kind of thing.
Yeah, because we saw Jackson in the game at the end of the game.
Not at the exactly.
We saw it after the hospital. You see him just pull up on Jackson who's down the hill, like.
So it's kind of cool that they took away from the dam and took the raid out of it. Because I was kind of expecting while watching it that there was going to raid happen. Like, because I was used to the game where we were at the dam and there was a raid. And I was sitting there the whole time. Just how they're talking about, like, how safe we are and protected we are. I was expecting a raid to happen. I was like, is there going to be a raid? Is there going to be a raid? Because I'm used to the game. Like, how it played out, but
we got a circle of horses, and which is Tommy's people, and
so I kind of felt like it was kind of a raid happening almost, because when you go to the gate, it was just like, "Hey, what are you doing there?" And then it's like, "Joel, is that you?" It's like, "Oh my god, my brother!" But then I do like how they did this though. I do like how they did the whole Joel Tommy thing.
I just want to fucking clip that. Tommy. But it's just like fucking good.
There was also possibly the introduction of a Diani.
What? A Diani?
Donna.
You just played the fucking game, Daz.
I love changing the name every time. But we saw a camo.
we saw a camo of someone's pants, maybe. I don't fucking know anymore. We saw a camo of
Anyway, we see
a lady in the corner.
Like her in the corner, like being all coy, and like I do like how that scene was kind of funny, where she's just like sitting there munging away, and then she's just like, oh.
Right? What are you looking at?
She's just like peeking around, like it's like that dude in that beam where he's like behind the tree. He's like behind the tree. Ow, my jaw just cracked. Oh. Ow. But it's my jaw popped and cracked when I did that.
How?
I was like this big crack, and I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, it's like that meme where it's just like behind the tree. It felt like that. She's just like behind the pole going, that's
good... just like one eye just.
It was like so creepy, and then she's like,
then she gets called out, and she's like, "See ya."
Oh, that wasn't me. What? I'm being, and then walked off. I was like, God damn it! But I was like a funny little.
Yeah, because Ellie fucking yelled at her.
What are you looking at?
Or stop staring or something. It's like,
stop staring.
She's just gone.
So it was kind of cool, like how they did, like they're really setting up for the next season, like where we're getting into.
Yes.
What does that pop up? Luckily, it's not on this.
I'm keen because I want to see Joel get his head beat in.
Yes. If you haven't played the second one, sucks to be you because I'm caught up now. But I already knew that happened. Everyone
knows that happened.
I knew it happened before I played it, but yeah. Imagine those that are watching the show that have no idea. I feel for those people.
Well, they will now.
But it's interesting what they're going to do
if they watch this.
Like we saw the difference in how they changed. It's been
out for 3 years. So.
But yeah, it's a good episode. Definitely check it out. That was episode 6, so we've got 3 more episodes left. So I think the next episode is supposed to be the Ellie Riley episode. Then it should be the David episode as well.
It's a flashback episode.
Yeah,
it should get Ellie's mum and that as well.
Flashback origin story, and then it should be the David episode, and then the finale. So that's what we're predicted on what would happen, because that's kind of like how the game goes. So it's following it pretty well. The fact that they squeezed like the university and that together in the one episode. I am happy we had the monkeys on the chair.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was happy they did the monkeys on the chair. Like, that was great.
I got jump scared by the monkey.
Right?
I didn't expect this. I opened the door. Monkey's like...
I mean, they had a lot more monkeys than the game did. I can tell you that. Like, fuck.
No.
But,
No, the game had a few monkeys.
When you first see them, you see, like, 3 or 4 of them. And when you first see them in the show, there's, like, 6 or 7 of them. It's just like, jeez. They're all there jumping around.
Yeah, but there's no giraffe, so...
No,
so they kind of make
the giraffe was in one of the shots in the room. There's a photo of a giraffe on the wall, so they made up for it. So,
right, we didn't make up for it, but they added a nice little extra touch.
Yeah,
yeah, because there's also a giraffe toy in. Is it the first episode, second episode?
Something like that. I think it was just to make up for it. So yeah,
it's either in the part 1 game or the show. I'm blending them together.
I know it gets blendy, but. It's there. There's giraffes. So
there's a giraffe toy that Ellie has in one of them.
Yeah,
I remember. I remember.
But I don't know what else. What else have we got here?
But still, I'm keen. I just want to binge that whole season.
Binge. I know. So definitely we're going to be doing that once we're done. Wookie might have to, if he wants to come by on that episode, he might have to watch it and catch up.
I'm going to catch up. Yeah.
Because we're going to.
What is it streaming on?
Binge. You can watch it on.
Binge?
Yeah.
Because on HBO, but you can get it through Binge.
Yeah. So Binge does HBO. Oh, that's
yeah.
Binge does everything.
It's pretty good. So we're doing a I don't know if we're not too sure yet if we're going to do a podcast or just its own video. We might just do its own video so it doesn't take up the podcast. Where we're just going to like once we've watched all the episodes, we're going to go through and like take our best like our favorite moments from it and just like kind of reflect on the whole series. So if you do go through and eventually catch up on that, you're more than welcome to join us for that episode whenever we get around to that video or whatever.
Yep.
So yeah. So those.
Probably like a month away.
So those that are listening, we'll keep you up to date. So those that are listening on Spotify, I should say, because those on YouTube will see it either way if they're if they've subscribed, they'll get the notification, whatever. But those on Spotify, ring the bell, bing, ling, 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 ling. So if you're on Spotify, we'll let you know if it is end up being a podcast, you'll be able to hear us break it down. But if it's going to be a separate video, you will have to come over to the YouTube channel and watch the video there. So, but we will keep you up to date what we decide to do yet because. Like I said, it's a 9-episode show. There's a whole thing there.
It'll be a 9-hour fucking potty.
Exactly. So I wouldn't want
Who knows?
that, but it's
I wouldn't say 9 hours. Fuck that. Jesus Christ.
Like we could even do a breakdown of some of the best moments, and we could like clip them and like do a react to that even with it. I don't know. Like
yes.
There's plenty of options, but we'll keep you up to date when it gets closer. We've got like I said 3 episodes left.
It's like a month away, minimum.
And then the crazy thing is too with the show because that wraps up on the 12th of March, which is funny enough like kind of works with Disney because Disney they start a couple of weeks beforehand, but on the 1st for Disney for The Mandalorian. So it's like a nice little blend that we don't, we still get Pedro. We've got Pedro for one content and we got more Pedro on a different platform, but we still got Pedro. So yeah. And you don't have to come to my YouTube channel for Pedro. Have you noticed how much Pedro content I've been posting on my YouTube channel lately? Like I was tempted to like modify and like put like my icon and just change it to like a pickle Pedro
tube.
Pickle Pedro, like just have it there as a meme because it's been a lot of Pedro content lately on my channel.
Well, because you've been getting a bit of the chop from it, like
yeah, because it's like some of the stuff I've been sharing isn't technically shareable in our country, I guess, and some stuff is like reacts to things that are like SNL and stuff like that, but they're not allowed. So they're like, you need to snip this little section off. It's like, you need to snip off 30 seconds. Okay, I'll snip 30 seconds. You need to snip off another 30 seconds. Fine, another 30 seconds. You need to snip off a minute. It's like, fuck. And it goes from like a 15-minute clip down to like 3 minutes. It's like, and then you watch the video, it's like, wow, that was, oh yeah, that's pretty. And it's like cutting up everything. So when I'm like reacting to stuff, it's like one thing jumps to another and it makes no sense. But I'm like, fuck it, I'll upload it anyway. Just because it's hilarious. But fucking YouTube, man.
Remember when YouTube used to be like so good where you didn't really get copyrighted?
Well, yeah, exactly. But also, you know how there's those ways I used to think for a while where you could get away where you used to flip the video or you'd invert the video or you make it smaller to try and like avoid the copyright?
Because it should be. If you're speaking at certain points over it, it shouldn't be like copyright.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. But you know how there used to be ways to get around copyright, where like you'd have to like you'd flip the video or you'd shrink it and you have it large, or you would be larger than the video. I literally made a video where I did all those things in the one video, and the whole video kept being flagged. I was like, bro, how am I supposed to avoid the copyright when I used to try all the tricks from under the book? It's like, no, this algorithm AI just knows, like 100% knows, like, nope, this is all this one video.
But if you contact who own the thing, they don't care. Like they'll get rid of the thing for you if you get struck or something. But it's just YouTube's bot it should be manual now. Like it should be manual in some form.
Even when you dispute it, it still goes through their YouTube system. It doesn't even go to the person's from. And you're like, fuck. And the fact that
you
SNL,
have to email them and shit.
And the fact it's SNL and it's literally banned in our country, like we can't watch SNL on YouTube. It's like fucking retarded. Like. It's so stupid. Like I told Jim that, and he's like, "No," and he looked up, and he's like, "What the fuck is this stuff?" Yeah, I used VPN to get the stuff in the first place, just so I could watch them. And it's just like, fuck, because they're some pretty funny skits. Like these, the Pedro skits are fucking actually kind of funny. So, and he's actually like he ad libs so good. Like how he keeps his scenes like under control. Like when he's like
he just ad libs everything in general. I think like
he's got good composure when it comes to like a scene where everyone's like breaking character, like laughing shit. And he's just like he will hold a straight face. Like he would be deadly to play with it, like a game of poker. Like he's got such a poker face. Like it's like fuck. Like he could. I reckon he could bluff you out of.
Yeah, like he's that good of an actor. He can just like not show emotion.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fuck. Because like when I was watching like the skits, like there was this Asian dude that was in the scenes. And every time, like, he would just crack up laughing the whole fucking time. Like, something that would happen, you see him laughing in the corner, or he'd be, like, standing back, and he's just like, oh, like, it's like, dude, this dude's bad. Like, this dude laughing at everything. Stuff that's not even funny. He's, like, breaking character. I'm like, bro, you need to hold your composure, man. And it's just like, fuck. But, like, I mean, each person's different of, like, what they can hold. That's why I could never be a stand-up comedian. I'll be like, if I was a stand-up comedian, I'd be laughing at my own jokes before I even got them out. Like, I just can't do it.
Right.
Like, it's just fucking bad.
I mean, you do that anyway, I think.
I do it all the time. I'm trying to tell you a joke and I'm laughing halfway through it. Or even got it fucking out. It's bad. It's fucking stupid.
I mean,
small things amuse small minds, so fucking... it is what it is.
Very amusing.
But anyway, fucking whatever. Fucking Ed Boon, anyway.
Ed Boon. Yeah, I told you about that. I was like...
I know.
Yeah, I just read the tweet out loud, and I was like, "Oh, well, there it is."
Injustice 3. So do you reckon again that was like a leak?
Oh
yeah,
it's
gonna be on its way.
Injustice 3 is a thing.
Yeah,
it's too big not to have another one. Like 1 and 2 were so good.
But I do think it's funny that Ed Boon, he's just like tweets just going, "Hey, so has anyone heard about Injustice 3?"
Yeah,
it's like what? It's just so random, and obscure to see in the morning. It's just like
that's Ed Boon though.
Yeah, but it's just like it's so subtle.
Like, because I think it leaked or something, and like everyone else heard about it. Like he just confirmed it.
I haven't seen anything. Like I tried looking for some stuff, and I haven't seen anything on it.
No, I don't think it leaked, but he just put it out there.
That was just him putting some word out, some feelers out, some information out.
And then Mortal Kombat 12 did leak.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers leaked Mortal Kombat.
I know. It's like what?
Like,
but
thanks.
more people are focused. But like what I've seen, even from the article that I want double checked on, it's like people are more focused on Injustice 3 than Mortal Kombat that actually got leaked.
Because
Like what?
we haven't got an Injustice for a long time. 2016, I think.
What an
the last one.
Injustice!
Oh, jeez, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I need it. Have I got 2?
Injustice 2, because I've got on Xbox and I fucking loved it. I think it's better than Mortal Kombat.
Getting the second one on Xbox, or was it the first one? I can't remember.
It came out 2017.
I got a steelbook of something. It might have been Injustice. I don't know.
And then Mortal Kombat came out 2 years later. So we are due for an Injustice and then the Mortal Kombat. I think they're coming out this year, like Mortal Kombat is this year.
It'd be good to see something new. Like I'd be down to trying to get my hands on it.
They have multiple games planned for this year. I think that's one and another one. Don't know, whatever it is.
Wouldn't be bad.
Could be Injustice 3. But can you do 2 fighting games in 1 year? Probably not.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to compete because you've got like Street Fighter coming out and Tekken. Isn't there the new Tekken?
Yeah, but that's not this year, I don't think.
Probably next Street Fighter. Wasn't it Street Fighter this year?
Yeah, but not Tekken. They haven't been promoting that at all, really, recently.
So who knows?
But Street Fighter's been pushed a lot. So, I mean, we could get Injustice next year with, like, Tekken or something.
Gotta push it to the streets.
And speaking of Warner Brothers, there was a deal done recently with those and Embracer over the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Warner Brothers has multiple movies coming.
Yes, because that's right.
Because deal so they can make more movies.
Was it Embracer that bought it up, wasn't it? They got all the rights and everything, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they were able to do the fucking Amazon thing.
Yes, because that was before they bought that.
It was in that mid-air, yeah. It was like, but that's why Amazon did it.
And
it was in that void.
But Warner Brothers has more movies, so I'm kind of keen, also skeptical.
It'd be interesting to see what you do with
Peter Jackson won't be back though.
No, well, now it would be its own territory. Like it'd be like, let's just make stuff in that universe. Like let's just go with stuff in the universe.
It has to fit the Lord of the Rings in that though.
But there's a lot of stuff there that we've got now that they can go off from the vibe. So they've already know the energy. They've got the feel. They know what's going on now. It's just finding the directors.
They have to go before or after. Is it much after? I don't think there is there?
Yeah, I mean they can make up their own stuff. They can make up a whole new lore afterwards, like adventures. Like the world's still going on. Like it doesn't have to be based around the ring. Like.
Yeah, but the ring's gone. Like everything's dead. Like all the
anything could
gone.
happen. Like there could be a new thing, or it could just be adventuring, or it introduced some kind of weird bad guy that they got to fight. You know,
I reckon it'd be like this way before. Like before
anything could happen. Like nothing's always in peace. Like the plot twist. There was an auntie's uncle that had the forbidden earrings. I don't know. Fucking.
It's
not fucking Dragon Ball.
I was gonna say the ring made him go invisible. The earrings made him fucking fuse. I was gonna make a Dragon Ball reference there, so. But like that's what I'm saying though. Like they could do anything. Like I still want to know how the fuck the ring shrunk, but that's just me.
Shrunk. What do you?
It's magical. It can reform.
Remember Frodo? He's just like, it like shrunk on he'd fit on his finger. But fucking Sauron was fucking he was fucking bigger than a human.
I just love the joke.
Fingers that were fucking.
Where someone did the joke where it made it to a piercing, a cock piercing.
Yeah. It would be a cock ring for a Frodo, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's
Good old fucking dildo baggins.
Dildo baggins.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I always still get confused by. Like, how the fuck is it changing sides? Like,
it's magical. A wizard.
It's magic, man.
Magic.
It's made by Celebrimbor.
Actually, you weren't here when we talked about it. I did record it, but before we started the podcast, when you were out, we were talking about cowboy wizards.
Cowboy wizards.
We're talking about
cowboys,
literally, we were literally talking about like the old west, and we're like, what if wizards were in the old west, like Clint Eastwood old western style, and they had like the duel, and then they walk 10 paces, and we're talking about that, and we're like 10 paces, and they're like quick draw, and they're like like imagine the old west.
Eventually Harry Potter's gonna revert to some shit like that. Because they're gonna be like wizards in the cowboy days, and they're like, "Wow!" Like,
I was thinking,
it kind of is with this game. Like it's back in the 1800s. So,
but that's what making the joke. Like, imagine the whole old west gunfight scene where like there's a duel off, and then everyone starts shooting everyone, but instead of guns, they have wands. And I'm like, I wonder if anyone's like done a video where they've just handed out guns.
I killed Daz earlier.
Yeah, he killed me. We said the same joke, and before I even could get it off, this is where it started. Before I could even get it off, he's just like, "I freaking hit it," and I was about to do it to him, and he got me. I was like, 10 paces, fucking standoff, you dirty fucker.
Yeah, I was about to say, essentially, all you're doing is switching robes to hats. That's essentially, it's exactly the same thing. You're facing each other. It's a duel. Guns to wands. Hats the robes.
You got your wand holster down there.
And I was saying, exactly. And like Jim was saying, the guy with the two wands, he's like spins them in his fingers. Like,
well, you know the robes from Harry Potter. They actually have like a little pocket for your wand, right?
Yeah.
So
on the outside,
it's
isn't it? Like...
It's a
wand
holster.
What about the cowboy? He'll have these gun holster belt with all these different wands in it, and everybody's like, "Oh, this one's done." It's like, and he just pulls them out and he's just shooting with them. It's like, oh, this one's fucking fuck that one. Fuck that one.
I don't think wands work like that. That you need to reload them.
I don't know how magic was in the fucking the cowboy era.
Wands are kind of it's wands.
It's a one and done. Like
it's an extension of your body.
No, it's extension of your body. Yeah, it's
like
it's a one-off thing. Yeah. It's well, you know.
Now I've just gone down the realm where all the wizards are naked and they're fighting, and they're all male and they're fighting with their dicks and they're just shooting lightning bolts out of their dicks. And they're like, quick draw, and they're like, ha ha.
That's the R-rated version of Hogwarts.
I mean, I do that already, but
that's the porno.
Fight with your dick.
Which I don't. If it isn't, I'm pretty sure there's a Hogwarts porno. If not,
I reckon there have to be Rule 34, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, if not, someone link me if I haven't found it by tomorrow. Now I'm curious. Leviosa. Leviosa. But wait, talk about movies. There was a trailer that dropped recently of a new movie. It's a foreign movie. It's a European movie. It's from, I think it's like Finnish or something like that. It's made by the same people that done John Wick.
Yep.
It's called Sisu. You might have seen it. Might have like
maybe
YouTube a bit. It's essentially Sisu. Sisu. So it's in Finland,
seafood?
based in 1944.
I better get him.
I didn't do that one.
Give it a go back. Give it a go.
You know, seafood's a game, though, right?
Seafood.
Sisu. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. No. Yeah, seafood. Did you say sisu or seafood?
Oh no, my camera busted. So it's back in Finland, 1944. It's about a prospector that versus Nazis.
So Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
So it's just Wolfenstein.
See, is it Sifu or Sisu?
Sisu. Sisu.
Oh, yeah, I did that, but nothing comes up. What the fuck?
I'll post it in Discord.
Oh, Finnish concept. Oh, it's all one word. Okay.
It's one word.
I remember that.
It's a Finnish concept describing determination, tenacity of purpose, grit, bravery, resilience. Okay.
Sisu came out in 20 Action War. It came out in 2022. Release date was 27 January 2023.
Yeah, but yeah. I see it.
It looks like fucking. It looks like that. It looks like a Wolfenstein movie.
A Wolfenstein.
It looks like a Wolfenstein, like this crazy old man, like.
A Wolfenstein.
Why am I getting photos of Rhea, the Last Dragon?
Oh God! Don't say that.
All right, now it's finished.
Literally.
So it basically.
Here, look! Oh God! Like I typed in Sisu on Google, and look at how my Google searches come up. Like.
That looks pretty fucking good.
Look how it comes up. Yeah. Violence and then a kids film. Bloody face guy and then.
But the trailer looks good. It is fun. Like there's a bit where you just see a landmine get thrown, and it just lands face first.
Vengeance is golden.
It's a Nazi, and he just essentially it's a prospector that used to be like ex special forces, but his whole family was killed. Near the end of the war, he runs.
Of course it is. That's how I get the plot going.
It's always the way, and he runs to a bunch of Nazis. They try to
dude stab straight in the head with a knife, like fucking hell.
Yeah, and then
it's not John Wick. The dog dies, so then and his car's taken. Like
a scene where you do see a dog, but you don't see what happens to it. And I'm pretty sure they kill the dog, and that's probably what sets him off.
Most probably. I do.
Yeah, well, we get John Wick in a couple of months.
Didn't they?
Before.
The same people do. They did Nobody as well.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, Nobody. Yeah, Nobody.
probably better than John Wick actually.
John Wick has a dog at least in the new movie.
Like that Nobody movie is very underrated. No one talks about it.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah, that's
so
fantastic. Good. I went to that was the last time I went to the cinemas.
Right, like I haven't. I think I might have seen Black.
Was that pre-COVID? Was it? Was that like 2020,
2019? 2022.
Yeah.
No, Nobody 2021.
Oh, I was like, I hardly go to the cinemas, if not like
2021.
Once every 2-3 years, and I went, nah, I saw the trailer for that Nobody, and I was like, nah, I have to see the cinemas. That was the movie I had to see. There's another movie I want to go see, which is A Cocaine Bear.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah,
I've heard you want to see that
about
that.
Yeah, it looks. When I saw the preview and everyone talked about it, like it first came out, I thought it was gonna be like a horror film. But then once I saw the trailer for it, it's just a dark comedy. It's not like really
horror, isn't it?
It's just straight up comedy. Like it's a straight up dark comedy. Like it's not even a horror film. Like it's not meant to be like it's maybe a bit. It's not scary. It's like
a Broken Lizard movie.
It's just straight up hilarious. Like the whole cut of the trailer is just a full on comedy. Like it's just a bunch of guys going like, "Oh, the bear's on cocaine." It's like, "Oh, the arm's missing." Ah! It's like, "Ah!" And then they're like getting high with the fucking bear, and it's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like it's just all like fucking. It's like a Hangover movie kind of thing. It's just like fucking wacky, kind of crazy.
It reminds me of Broken Lizard, the people behind like Super Troopers and
yeah, exactly. It felt like that. It felt like that. Exactly, it's just a wacky fucking fun time. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We need more movies like that. What were you you were taking notes before this too. What were you going at? Were you gonna bring that up with the other stuff, that how shit some movies have been lately? Is that what you were getting at? Or were you just gonna leave that to tiny people?
Tiny people.
Tiny people.
I mean, when you're in the quantum realm, nothing really matters when you're this tiny.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man came and went, didn't it? Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was supposed to be the premiere of.
It matches. Its rating matches the essence of the film. Small.
Yeah, they introduced MODOK, and I was not impressed.
They introduced Kang, and he was the best one of them.
Kang makes sense, but like they did MODOK dirty though. Just the way they did MODOK was just so lazy. So lazy. Like let's reuse a character, and then
let's make him a good guy at the end because
I'm an Avenger now. That line, the whole sequence was like, "You're a dick. I'm a dick. Don't be a dick. I'm not a dick. I'm a good guy." It's like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, I know that's stupid. You know where they got that from? The last MODOK, the MODOK series that was out.
Oh, that cartoon, the kid that.
Yeah, the kid's one, and I think they watched that to get a reference as who's MODOK. They're like they've never read a comic book ever.
The cartoon I could understand in a cartoon, like that makes sense. Like that's a cartoon, but like as a
you
thing,
know what I mean? Like they wrote MODOK, like all they did was watch the cartoon and went, "Oh, he's not really a dick. Oh, he's a dick. Let's just call him a dick and make him good. Yeah, let's do that."
MODOK was more of a dick than Yellow Jacket. Like, MODOK's a full-on fucking fuckhead. Like, he'll fucking... Yeah.
No, that wasn't even supposed to be the proper MODOK. MODOK is a different guy.
He's like wasn't he like an alien or something? I can't remember much of it.
No. MODOK was the original MODOK. I can't remember. I forgot the original character's name, but he was experimented on by his father to give him great intelligence.
Yeah.
And then he got intelligent, but then his brain kept on growing.
That's right, and that's why he became big. That's right, because DC's was that fucking Brainiac. DC's version was Brainiac, and that was MODOK the same.
Yeah, but Brainiac is amazing.
Yeah, but DC and Marvel always have similar parallel characters.
They did, Ant-Man did MODOK dirty. I think that. That's like they did. They did
Ant-Man dirty.
But I think
I do have my review of that too. I'll say up on the website and up on the Facebook channel. What the fuck am I on about? On the Facebook page, I do have the review up. I did review it, a small review of it, and I put that up on the page as well. So,
but I think they did MODOK dirty. I think the ones that wrote MODOK would simply just watch that MODOK's the animated series and went, yeah, that's the inspiration from that. Let's just run with it.
Yeah.
We've never read comics books before, and I think
wasn't that dropped on Disney as well? Well, the cartoon wasn't posted on Disney.
Yeah.
So I guess Disney would have gone, oh, this is what we've done already. Here, watch this source material that we have, and follow that. Like that's what it feels like they've done.
Yeah, that's what I feel like they've done as well. They just
because it was in house. They're going, oh, we've got it on storage. Just do that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It wasn't the only other thing they did dirty. Like the one that plays Cassie, the daughter. Yeah, like they did the dirty on that as well because the original actress wasn't even notified till they did an official saying this is the new Cassie, and it's like, wait, that's not me. That's a different chick, and they only got her because she was popular with a few other movies.
I'd never really seen her in anything else.
Like they got her in place, even though they were grooming her to be the next,
And that's the weird part is you got this chick that did play her in the other thing that you saw her that one snap. Like she was 21 or she's 21. She looks older than the chick they got now playing who is 26.
Yeah.
It's so messed up. But like even then we saw her character how she was and how she acted. And that's another thing that did me dirty and rubbed me the wrong way as well is they're like you come to this film and the character's all like she's like acting like a dad basically. She's acting like a dad being a crook. Yeah. And it's just like he's like you don't follow my footsteps, don't be me. And then you've got like fucking.
She was more like a protester, actually.
Well, She
was protesting. She wasn't like. Sure, she was going the whole like do the right thing like her father because that's why he got in jail in the first place.
Yeah.
He found out the company was doing dirty. He stole from the company and gave back to the people that the company stole from. That's good. That's still morally, That's kind of
but he was like, don't do that. Like, don't follow my footsteps. Basically, he was getting at. It's like, I understand you want to try and do these things. I've learnt my way of doing that, and it wasn't right. Like, he learnt from doing those things, and he was trying to teach her that.
Yeah. But that's the thing. The difference between her and him, like, he did it because it was generally like morally right, all that kind of stuff. I understand she was kind of still doing it morally right, but it came off more of a wokey kind of,
Yeah, and then everyone's supporting her, and he's just like, and he's the one that's like, how I didn't know this was going on, and everyone's like, we encouraged her to do it. Like, everyone's like, yeah, we encouraged her to do it. It's like, I'm her dad, and you didn't tell me any of this, and you guys have been knowing this for like months. Exactly. It's just like, I'm trying to tell her not to do these things.
Yeah, the double standard because she's
like everything was double standard. Like even like the whole dabbling with the quantum realms. I was like, oh, by the way, I've been doing this. It's like, it's like, what the fuck? Like you felt like him, and it's like we all felt out of place. Like that's how I felt. Like so out of place with the intro. And then they accepted this character and do everything. Like yeah, she's fine. She can play around with science stuff, even though she's not a scientist. It will perfectly fine allow her to play around and access the quantum realm.
That's one of the things I don't like that Disney does is the Mary Sue concept.
Yeah,
which is basically they grab a character that doesn't have any background at all in that kind of field, you could say, sciencey field, for example. And yet they kind of put on a pedestal. Not just put her on a pedestal. They instantly throw them in and go, now you're a genius. And it's like there was nothing leading
to build up to it. Yeah, exactly. There's none of that.
Build up to it. It was not. They don't even hint that it's like, oh, it might be genetics.
You noticed the only characters they did build up was the main three: Iron Man, Cap, and
Well, Ant-Man they kind of showed his build up to it.
Like, the only ones they really built up, and well, not even Ant-Man. Barely anything.
I understand where they're coming from, where they're basically like, oh, you already know the characters, you already know their
but new people don't.
From there.
Exactly, they shortlining it.
But it's the whole kind of concept where they're just putting people on
and the other factors too is the movie was basically more based on her than anything else. Yet it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp. We barely see anything of the Wasp. Ant-Man is there at the time, but it was mainly focused on Ant-Girl. Like that's the whole thing was to push her in the film. Push her.
It's the beginning of Phase 5, and it's to bring the next generation.
Yeah,
well, if that's the beginning,
they're honestly rushing it, and that's the problem. Is they're not doing it properly. They're going push. Like they're not gracefully going like this is how we're going to try and do it. It's just like let's staple all these fucking nails into the wall to stabilize this wall. And it's just like, bro, you only need.
Yeah. Well, that's also the other thing. It was kind of like, all right, Ant-Man, yep, he's an awesome engineer. He learned his engineering in prison.
Yeah.
Then the daughter, it's like, well, where did you learn your stuff?
She had no interest in it. She had nothing of it.
Yeah, exactly. Not even when growing up. It was kind of like, and then she read a bunch of notes. That's no basis is all on science. I could read a bunch of notes and something. Doesn't make me a fucking genius in that aspect. But that's my gripe with that aspect. There's also the aspect of where basically
the writing was very bad. Like
yeah. Well, it was supposed to be the start of Stage 5. I understand some reviews say the movie was too bad for Kang. Like Kang is a great villain, but it wasn't right for him to be in it.
It felt like the bad guy.
Yet he's the best part of it.
Well, the focus almost feels like that was same as MODOK. Some people said, like I feel like the movie should have been based on just the thing with MODOK, and that was it. Like, have him come back. Have was it Darren?
Yeah, but they had to
spoiler
Kang in there to set up the phase.
Well, like I said before, they did MODOK bad. Stupid. They did him dirty.
The movie should have been like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Have MODOK as the bad guy. Done. But they've gone, no, let's make it about Kang, and then had all this stuff going. It's Kang, because like I said, it's in my review anyway. But like basically what I've said to a few people is, you've got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and it feels like it's a story of Ant-Man, kind of Wasp's storyline going on. You've got Hank Pym's storyline going on. You've got Jane's story going on. You've got Cassie's story going on. You've got MODOK's story going on, you've got Kang. Like, there's 7 different characters that are in the film, but they haven't all their stories being told in the one movie. It's like,
but yet they did the Avengers perfectly.
Like, why are we focusing on all these different characters, but they're all meant to be like everything they did intertwines together to why it all works? It's just like they're trying to push the metaphor for the whole multiverse thing. It's like, we already understand the multiverse. We've seen Loki. We've seen Spider-Man. Like, we've seen how the multiverse is already connected. Like, why is every movie going to try and force themselves into the multiverse? Like, trying to push it.
I know.
To everyone's trying to tell their angle of the multiverse. It's like, we already understand. Like, you watch Loki alone. Loki was the whole setup for the whole multiverse, basically. It explains everything. We have that whole sequence with Kang in it, and it's just like it does it all for you. Spider-Man just added the extra creme on the top, but then everyone's just like, no, we all need to have our opinion on the multiverse. Yeah. It's just like, we don't need to keep saying it.
Spider-Man was fantastic. I loved all the cameos.
It worked. It worked, and that's like that. We saw storylines. We got to continue like that. That worked because we had we got a few story going on there. Like we've got Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We're following him primarily. We're getting Strange's storyline happening, but he was more of a back seat. Like that's where it felt like we had Garfield and Maguire, like we were continuing their story. Like we had kind of them continuing, but again, they were like not as focused on. But like this, like Ant-Man, just tries to focus on everyone at once.
A bit too overdone though. Like,
yes, because then you had the villains as well. They're like, oh, by the way, I'm this villain, and this is the universe I'm from, and I'm this villain, I'm from his universe. Like they did try and get a bit carried away, and then there's Tree, but we don't know about his universe.
Goblin and Doc Ock. That's all they needed.
Like it was setting up the Sinister Six kind of reference and. They wanted to try to at least make a reference to the Sinister Six, so they tried, but Tree doesn't count. Then again,
look what happened.
So, I mean, Tree didn't count as a villain because they couldn't get Groot in the film, but Groot's a good guy, so they had Tree. You know.
Yeah, but now Doc Ock's a good guy. Fucking
good guy, bad guy.
Jamie Foxx as Electro was a good guy. Like
they all were.
Jamie Foxx. I loved it how they actually fixed this character.
Oh yeah, because that was shocking in the Amazing Spider-Man.
The powers.
That was bad.
Yeah, retconned everything.
The chest rig, and that went back to the original Electro. And I was like, yes, they actually fixed him. But
stabilize.
They should have originally.
The other gripe is that I just don't like is with all the new lineup expected for the Marvel universe, they're not having example like some of the go-to ones like Doctor Doom. And
which I think we should have with the Fantastic, possibly.
It's Fantastic Four.
But I mean, you heard what they're doing with Fantastic. They want to build basically the universe around all that story around Sue Storm. So Sue Storm's been the focus, and they're going to build the casting around her and the story around.
That's weird that John Krasinski's not Electro Man.
If that's true, that's one of the other big gripes. I don't want to say gripe, and I don't say it's a bad thing, but the Marvel is heavily Marvel was heavily focusing on having like 90% female leads.
We already saw that in Endgame. We already saw that one moment. We had it. We had the moment in Endgame, and look how that went. We saw it in Endgame, and how did we react? Even women were like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like. A lot of people saw that moment.
Endgame's a pinnacle of Marvel.
But that's what I'm saying though. Endgame had this whole thing, and the one moment, I will shit you not, people find really weird and confusing, and this is even women, is that whole women lineup empowerment moment that they try to push. And people are like, what the fuck is this? And it's not just guys doing it. Like, women were like...
remember that.
Even women were like, what the fuck is going on here? This is so out of place. Like, it was good for some people.
I'm not saying it's like, it's bad to have a female main actress.
Like, we saw them do the moment.
They've got to have the charisma, the ability, like...
Yeah.
It was such a cheesy out of place moment.
They're approaching on the boys club kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's like, well, if
it's got to work where it fits.
90% on having females as the new kind of next phase of Avengers, and I'm like, well, it is what it is. But at the same time, don't shove it in their face and make everything compulsory as the female to the front of the show. Front of the show, when basically, for example, like Ant-Man, it's like it's an Ant-Man movie. Don't
push Ant-Girl. We didn't even see barely anything to do with the Wasp, and it's literally called Ant-Man and the Wasp. That was the thing too.
Yeah.
If you're gonna push anyone, push Wasp, and they didn't even do that. Yeah. They pushed Wasp aside. She's barely getting any kind of real action going on in the film.
I think they had to name it that because the second one is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. But it's just but it was based again. The movie focused heavily on, because I have it in the review, was Cassie. It focused on her in Jane's backstory again. I'm not trying to be defensive against sexist here, but the movie's called Ant-Man and the Wasp, not Jane and Cassie, Quantumania. Where's it's Wasp, and she got barely any. It was her mum. It was half the movie's based on her mum.
Also, the problem is that the Marvel
they're getting it wrong. I call it Ant-Man and Ant-Girl.
I know what you mean, but the problem is they're trying to make out men bad, women good. And
but it needs to be done right. It needs to be done right.
We've known in the past that it's an equal thing. If they want equality,
it does my head in.
We need to have more female villains too.
I didn't want to talk much Marvel for the episode because we always get talking Marvel. But I was saying to Jim even before this as well. Same thing with Taskmaster. They changed it to a woman, but then they ruined Taskmaster. Not because it was a woman, because how the Taskmaster learnt the abilities. Taskmaster learnt while fighting, not let's plug in a USB drive and learn abilities.
Right.
Don't blame it on being a woman. Blame it on shitty writing. And then again, Doctor Who. Doctor Who changed. We finally had a female Doctor. The writers fucked that up. That's not on her. That's on the writers because they could have done so much stuff with that character. They fucked it up. It's giving this whole perception that women look bad in the end, and people go, "Oh, that's shit." And it's "Oh, you're just being sexist. You're hating against women lead characters." No, write these characters appropriately for these actors.
They're just written bad.
Write them in there properly, and we would actually have decent.
One of the reasons
it's frustrating. I would love to see proper female characters in proper leads, but it needs to be written properly.
100%.
With Wakanda Forever, they did that with turning he's whatever with that, but I like how they introduced her.
Wakanda Forever.
How they introduced Ironheart. Ironheart was done fairly okay. It was a bit pushy at start, but they did that right. They give the character a right kind of storyline. She wasn't taking the limelight from Iron Man. She wasn't oh, I'm going to be the new Iron Man. It's I followed him. I couldn't compare with that. They acknowledged they were being fair. That was written appropriately. I felt that was
But that's going back to also what I'm saying before, how they're creating Mary Sue characters. Disney was the biggest one, especially with Star Wars with Rey. There was no context. She scrapped stuff, and next minute she's an elite Jedi. Go fuck yourself.
Even Hawkeye introduced it because it makes sense. We do have the female Hawk girl. That's an actual character. And they did that right too. It was called Hawkeye. We were introduced to Hawk Girl or whatever it was. I can't remember her name.
No. She takes the mantle of Hawkeye as well, which is
Hawkeye still,
thing. But no, they did that.
It was still based on Hawkeye. It was still following Hawkeye. It was based on him.
I know that, but I'm just saying that worked out well because they actually had context to the character. It actually gave the whole reason why she was a good archer. Because you sell her training from a child.
Yeah.
But when you start creating characters which are there's no context behind it.
Yeah, because Ant-Girl, because Ant-Girl is there, like I said, Ant-Man was there. Ant-Girl is in the comics, it is a character that exists. She's had different, because I looked into it more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But just how they've done it is just so piss poor. They've done it such half-assed way, and it's why are we getting half-assed? TV shows are putting more effort in with the writing, and you got these movies, and these movies are just being half-assed. Even how they kind of did Jane Fonda in Thor was a little bit we got the whole cancer thing that made sense, but
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda? Did I say Jane Fonda? Jane Foster.
Jane Foster.
You said Jane Fonda.
But even then, Thor was a little bit iffy a little bit with that as well. We had the female characters. It made sense because we still got the essence of the cancer. She becomes the thing because they followed that narrative. But it feel like we didn't it is a Thor movie, so we focus more on Thor. But it's just how they did it was just a bit. She's better. She looked better. They did the whole. She looks better than Thor. Everything was trying to be a little bit too forced to make her better. But then
I just don't like lazy writing where it's like instantly like, oh, you get magic powers, or whatever, you get a suit of armor or magic powers, you instantly know how to do all this stuff. It's like, no, that doesn't happen. Like, if I gave any of these writers magic powers straight away, they would fumble and fall and fuck up.
Yeah,
right from the start.
Like Wonder worked. Like I say,
that's why, like the original Iron Man as well. Like he sure he was a genius and all of that, but
he learned how to do.
He learned how.
They showed his origin exactly. We saw him fumble, make mistakes, pick himself back up, learn again. The anxiety, learn again, heal. Learn. We saw development. We actually saw development.
Then you watch something like the Hulk, like the She-Hulk. It's like, you see the Hulk like trying to teach her stuff, and she instantly masters everything. Yeah, and you're like, that's a load of fucking bullshit.
Like I enjoy She-Hulk. Like I enjoy She-Hulk, but I do understand like it fast-paced everything. Like it tried
to fast-pace it, but it doesn't give it justice.
It doesn't give it its build-up. Like there are points though. It does show her arrogancy. Like they did acknowledge, like kind of like make the character, because she was being a bit of a I know it all. Like they did kind of put her in her place a little bit, but how they wrote the character was it was a bit too like fucking boom. They fast paced her into doing it, which then it did kind of kick her in the ass in the end. But then it kind of like turned back on itself and going, oh, you've learnt your lesson, but oh, never mind, doing the other thing again. Like, and I was like, what the hell? Like,
I just don't like lazy writing like that. I don't like character development in the sense because it's lazy.
Yeah,
it's.
And it seems to be the more later stuff, because the first part of like Phase 4 had been okay. Then you start coming to like the halfway point of Phase 4, and it's just been like, what? Like, it's definitely been that, like, very halfy, weird, wacky,
the thing that I see happening, though, Marvel's going to take a backseat because people just are so tired of the writing, and it's just going to be... And the good writers, I reckon they're going to be snatched up by James Gunn.
Yep.
Well, even Feige because I said that to Jim. Like, even Feige says we need to step back a little bit because we're pushing too much content out. Like whatever it was. He posted
they're pushing too much shit content. Too much. Oh, like not super shit, but still shit. Like DC, one of the DC heads was recently fired while he was at a concert, and they went, "Yep, you're fired, done." They got rid of him. One of the DC guys.
They're not playing games anymore.
They're not playing them. They realised it because they're seeing the numbers come back, and
that's why they've rebooted everything, and they know Gunn can do well because of what he's done in the past with everything.
Not just that. Yeah, Gunn did great for Guardians.
Everything he's done has been pretty solid. So he's done Guardians. He did the Suicide Squad. He did Peacemaker. Like they've seen like how well it does.
The community has shown their hate for She-Hulk. It's not getting a second season yet.
Never. I know it never was. It was always a one shot, from what I remember. Same as like Moon Knight. People want Moon Knight back, but that was supposed to be just a one and done series as well. Like a lot of these shows are one and done. They weren't meant to be like extensive shows. Like Hawkeye was one and done. Like, or even if people want them, like a lot of them were planned in the license, like for what they agreed to was all one and done one shots TV shows. That was it. Except for Loki, like that was meant to have two.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to show off more the side heroes.
It's set up characters it is definitely set up because we're going to see She-Hulk in another film. Like they're set up characters that we're going to see come into shows, like and other characters. Like that's what it was all for. Like we got Daredevil. It was set up to see Daredevil coming back. It was a set up to see like Hulk's son. It was a set up to see She-Hulk where she's going to end up being. Like they're all going to be brought into crossover films and crossover TV shows. Like they're planning to do a lot of that stuff. So. It's seeing how they work when we see the crossovers is the real thing.
Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed watching all that content, but I can see the major flaws in them, and that basically, in some cases, it was a major hindrance to the Marvel universe. I forgot about
Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel has actually... Miss Marvel, on the other hand, when you've got two different things like that are female characters, Miss Marvel was done a lot better, 100% better than She-Hulk. I like
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel's done so well.
Miss Marvel was fantastic because they actually wrote it properly. They did the whole. She did instantly have instantly was
build
great
up
at everything. Yeah. They actually it showed how she fumbled, how she learned, how she grew, rather than just like instantly magic powers. You're awesome at everything.
Yeah.
Like it was great that they didn't do that, and I loved it, and I actually enjoyed Miss Marvel. And I can't wait for the Marvels movie.
But it was actually coming back.
Was that next year, right?
Yeah,
next year. And I hope they put what's her name? The main Marvel, Miss Marvel chick.
Oh, Brie Larson's.
Brie. I hope they kind of put her in their place because she was one of those.
A character was a bit cocky kind of thing. I think.
No, I think just generally the actress is like. Just I think there's a lot of hate
that's the
behind
biggest
her.
issue. Like the biggest thing is like as an actress, I'm not a big fan of her as an actress, but as the character, I liked her as the character. Like I like that.
Yeah, the character was alright. It's just kind of like I understand the character. Like you see her every time she makes a cameo, she's very much up herself. Like there's other issues in the galaxy. Rather than Earth. It's like, but Earth needs you now. There's a major threat.
Yeah, they kind of played that off a fair times in this. The character as well.
And it's kind of I heard they're gonna make fun of that in the movie, the Marvels, and
like where were you at?
Yeah, like where were you? It's like, I was handling other stuff in the universe. It's like, yeah, but
the universe doesn't revolve around you, kind of thing.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the universe doesn't revolve around you. Go up yourself. Like we'll handle it then. Go fuck yourself. Don't even bother coming back to work, bitch.
Right?
But it does feel like though coming back to thinking about She-Hulk though, it did feel like the biggest issue that that everyone always overdoes though is like with the biggest thing with She-Hulk that I felt was definitely that the whole it felt like that the message they were pushing. I don't know who the writer was, but it felt like the message they pushed that we're trying to always resolve is women are better than men at everything. Was a big issue. Is what it felt like.
Hulk shouldn't have been in there. Like Hulk shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what it felt like because like they pushed that, like I say, because she learnt so quickly and did everything so much better, or she acted like she did everything better. It felt like it was like a subplot by the writer going, "Women are better at everything than men are."
Well, it was wrote by a woman.
Like that's what I feel like. She put her agenda, and that's the biggest problem. As I was gonna say is when you're writing something, don't put your agenda into it. Like there's the right, like because like the way she acts and the stuff she does, like that's in the comics. Like they got that right, but the subcategory of what they're writing, because there's always sub stuff that people write, and people always put themselves into it a little bit, and that's where you got to learn to like take your agenda out of it and just write something. Like don't put your propaganda push. You don't put your agenda like, and that's what it felt like. That's what I felt like they were pushing for. Is like, is they pushing their agenda that like she could do better, she was better, like learnt faster, she's better than men. You know, that's how I felt a little bit like rubbed the wrong way. It's like
Daredevil can take a walk of shame kind of thing. You know? Oh yeah. It's just a piece of meat, blah, blah, blah.
That's exactly it.
Well, I thought it was kind of cheesy breaking the fourth wall in She-Hulk as well.
She does that, so.
I understand that character does that, but not as good as Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh, Deadpool, like I say, but that's what he's in. Even though in the comics was like that. I've looked at a fourth wall breaking.
I watched all of She-Hulk.
It was always very average. It was more of like they referred to like the Ally McBeal kind of style, where it's just like talk to the camera kind of stuff. Like even in the comics, you'd just be like, crack the panel and be like, hey, this is going to happen next. She was never really crazy, wacky, break the panel. Where Deadpool, on the other hand, is like, oh, you're going to read these 3 other pages? Fuck that. You're not going to read those. We're skipping far ahead in the storyline. Oh, guess what? See this panel here? I didn't like that, so I'm going to scribble that out, and we're going to ignore that panel. Like, Deadpool 100% breaks the fourth wall.
Which we see in the movies.
Like, there was one issue, I'm sure of a comic I read of him, where he was like, don't read the next issue, come back in issue 3, 4, whatever it was. He said, come back in this issue where this story we're talking about picks up over in that. Like, he would break the fourth wall and say, don't worry about buying 5 other issues. Like, they've got nothing to do with me. Come back to this issue. It's like, that's breaking the fourth wall. Like, that's actually breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. Like, I do have to say, the actress that plays She-Hulk, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
She was in and
again, it comes down to the writing. It comes down to the writing.
Exactly.
Like, they could have done She-Hulk one way.
I need to go pee again because I've had
well,
water.
I
was drinking margarita before we started as well.
Oh, so, yeah, that is true. I did ask you, and you said, yeah, drinking margaritas. I'm going to have another rum.
Margarita.
I'm getting rolled up. I was trying not to fucking talk about Marvel. I tried not to talk about Marvel. I don't want to.
That's why I'm not saying anything.
I want to move on from Marvel, so do we want to talk about Sons of the Forest with or without Wookie?
I mean, both. I don't know. No good Smash.
Yeah, Sons of the Forest. Otherwise, do you want to talk about your playing Hogwarts Legacy, or do we want to? We're talking about Hogwarts. You've been liking that?
I mean, fucking smashing Hogwarts now. Like, fuck.
Because
you've been watching as well.
I've been watching you, and I've been playing. I've really gotten into GTA 3 a shit ton though. That's been pretty fun.
Right, GTA 3.
Finally playing the fucking. Wait, what the fuck? I was gonna say I could hear that rattling. Finally,
obviously,
playing...
like, my mission's broke. Again, the gun killed me too quick. It's like, fuck.
Oh, some of the stuff is just janky as still, but like...
Yeah, because it's not a proper
Why do they do that?
Rockstar game.
Why they got 3 Vice City and San Andreas on the back, but then they've done Vice City 3 and then on the cover.
Wait, what?
Yeah, on the back it has 3, Vice City and then San Andreas. But on the front it's Vice City 3.
But that's not the timeline.
Yeah, that's timeline, and then that's release.
That's release date. Yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
I can't wait to play Vice City though. I really can't wait. Vice
I
City
can't
was my
wait to
favourite.
play all of them when they get remade.
Wait, what the hell? It says impulse triggers. It has impulse triggers.
The fuck are impulse triggers?
Is that Xbox?
Oh, that's when you're getting angry. Remember when you're getting mad?
Wait, what?
The game makes you angry because it's so shit. They put impulse triggers.
All right, what's the next subject?
We'll just talk about games. Jim's been playing games he's played.
Jim's playing
lately.
games.
The games that's been playing Jim lately. So what have you been playing anything lately, Wookie?
I've been working most.
So you haven't really been playing anything?
No, I've been playing like a bit of Tarkov because of the new white.
Yep.
I've been hopping on with a few people just here and there. I've been actually jumping in when I did have free time, because like I've been playing Tarkov for so long. I know, like I'm with I jumped into Australian Tarkov Discord.
Yep.
And I've actually been helping out newer players to.
I've been thinking of getting Tarkov.
So I've just been teaching newer players, like that haven't just literally like one I met who just literally bought the game 3-4 days ago. So I've been like teaching the the ways. Just been doing
you know the way.
The way of the golf.
So I've just been generally just helping out. Not a huge thing, but I only hop on like probably an hour or two every couple of days.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. Not as much as I want to. I was on earlier on today, but mainly I've just been going out and doing other things.
That's it. Yeah, well, that was like this afternoon for me. I decided to go out and just be like, fuck it. The kid had a nap, and I was like, yeah, might as well. So we went was like only like 2 hours while I left open, went to Movie World. I was like, fuck it, let's just go out for the afternoon, go to Movie World, be done with it. We got passes, fucking might as well use it. It's nice and quiet, wasn't too busy.
You got the yearly passes.
Yeah. Definitely worth. I mean, it does suck. We got them because we got them last year for Christmas, which thankfully didn't have to pay for it. But like, it does suck that it's $200. So to buy for the whole family, it is a large chunk. But the overall that you get out of it is fucking worth it. Oh, exactly. The amount of time you can go. Like at the moment, I wouldn't recommend anyone buying a pass at the moment because how Movie World's doing all its upgrades now. Basically, a lot of the rides are shut down. SeaWorld's doing a few tweaks here and there. So there's really not much to really value-wise. Unless you're planning to do like your spooky nights at Movie World or your fucking
you have
like
Wet 'n Wild as well.
Yeah, you got Wet 'n Wild, and you do get Paradise Country as well, which you can go see the barn animals and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So you get 4 parks.
Would be worthwhile during summer.
Yeah, but we're basically almost out of it, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm
you
just
during autumn.
down the road from the beach, so.
Yeah, exactly. You're down the beach. It's not too bad. But I mean, overall, it's not bad. Like it's a good refresh. Like we also had the pass of the year. But it was September, so I don't think we get any other events because they all happen towards the end of the year. Like, so we may renew it. Don't know yet. It's just the price. It's just like it's a bit steep to buy as a chunk, but it's worth it if you want to do like your White Christmas and all that kind of stuff. But like I have done them, and I'm like, I'm not too fast. Like it's fun to go to if you have the pass, but once you've kind of done it, it's just like it's the same thing. Like they're not many. Like they have their parades, they have the same kind of shows. It's like
unless they change it each year, which they probably
and they don't normally change a lot of the stuff because it's basically the same. But like the following year, I'm thinking of like definitely wanting to get them because
just do it when the kids are older and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like what
again, just give them a refresh.
2024, 2025 is the new upgrades that are being like fully unleashed to like Movie World because they've got like the new precinct releasing, and then there's if they do the hotel still because they're looking at putting a hotel at Movie World. The fucking 600 it can hold up to 600 people, which was interesting. Yeah, it's a big hotel they're looking at building, which is going to be like smack bang at the back of Move World, but it connects to it, so you can come down and then come out into it. But then they're looking at doing the new Wizard of Oz precinct, so there's a whole precinct they're actually looking at doing. So I'm hoping they start learning from that and actually making larger precincts and actually expand Movie World, which would
That's
be
the
great.
thing. Movie World, like I remember it a lot, and where it is, and I know they've got a lot of room behind it and around just to like expand out to.
Because like to the next one, they got like that Top Golf behind them near the studios. That's where Paradise Country is. But I've always thought, why can't they like kind of almost combine the two together? Like have your outback area, which make that part of Paradise Country, so you can go in by itself and have a fence line that it's like if you have a pass, you can transfer across. But if you like kind of like Dreamworld, where if you have your pass, you can like if you have the basic pass, you're not allowed to pass the gate to the water park. You know, like they have people there checking to make sure you have your right pass. Like do that, like have the precinct where if you have your full pass, you can access Paradise Country. Make that like the outback precinct, so you connect it together, or you can just pay to go to Paradise Country, or make it part of the Movie World's total price, and you can have the whole park. So you've got these different areas, and you can connect it together. So you can have outback area, you know, farmland shit, and then you've got your Wizard of Oz, and like do all that kind of stuff. Like combine it.
That's the thing with Movie World. I thought eventually Movie World by now would have been like,
and then Wentworld's just next door.
Like because I've been to Universal Studios in America, so they've got like huge areas just devoted to one theme.
Big precincts, yeah.
So big precincts. So you know you've got your there was like and a bunch of other rides. They're there. So you know you've got your Simpsons World. You've got like a section for the Walking Dead. They've got that Walking Dead experience. There was like a whole Hogwarts experience.
Yep.
And I'm surprised that Movie World hasn't done it.
Because it is a bit janky because you walk in the park and you got your left side, which kind of organizes your DC kind of heroes to one side, which kind of works. But it's weird because you've got like your Green Lantern ride, which is your hero. Then you've got your Batman kind of ride. Then you've got the Justice League. But then you've got like the villains ride in the back, which is kind of awkward. Which kind of doesn't work when you got, but then because then you got that in one section plus Superman ride, and then you had like the old Arkham ride, so you had like these weird heroes and then villains, and then if you go around the further part, then while you go through the park, you've got all the old vintage shops and stuff kind of themed, and then you've got like when you come through, there's the diner, which is like the old Indiana Jones fucking themed freaking Chinese restaurant kind of thing. Then you've got past that, you've got the Looney Tunes land, so then you've got that precinct there, so it's kind of themed, but then you come to if you go left. Past the stunt drivers, you've got like this weird Batman diner area, which because it's coming off the back of the DC end. But then you've got the Scooby-Doo ride, like bang in the middle of this stuff. You got like DC Scooby-Doo one ride, and then DC villains. It's just like, and behind that you've got the old Western, and it's just like, what's going on here a little bit? Like it's a bit.
Yeah, well, Scooby-Doo's technically DC.
I know what you mean. It's like
it's a bit confusing.
Now.
Have you seen the
Look at the map now.
The new one they're planning. The one they're planning. Have you seen that?
No.
Because the Wizard of Oz section they're planning is a massive precinct. So what's going is the old Arkham ride, which was the old Lethal Weapon ride. That's going apparently. They're taking that ride completely out. That was the rumor. So they're taking that out, and from there, so you would walk through under the Superman ride, and you start going into Wizard of Oz, and there's this massive area which is just going to be this massive precinct that's going to have like 3 Wizard of Oz themed rides, and there's this. It's going to be like the yellow brick road, and the whole area is going to be yellow, and like there's going to be like the Emerald Castle, like the whole area is literally just going to be an actual Wizard of Oz themed area.
Yeah.
So like that, which like you say, Universal has like precincts, like they have a full big precinct, and that's what they're planning to do.
Yeah.
Like,
but
and
I understand it just like if you break it down, it's just you've got
like
your main.
Warner Brothers has heaps of stuff. Like have more of that. Like do that, but do more of that. So like, what else does Warner Brothers own?
Warner Brothers should have like a lot like that. Movie World, Warner Brothers should be
like have a Game of Thrones section. Massive. Like have a because Warner Brothers owns Game of Thrones still, don't they? Or
I think so.
Because it's on.
Because.
Like even Lord of the Rings, like have it like because they're working with the whole Lord of the Rings thing. Like why can't if the license works, like why can't we have a Lord of the Rings territory, like Hobbit land, like actually go through and there's like little Hobbitville's, like and Hobbiton, yeah.
I know. Like looking at the lot, it's just like you've got your roundabout, which is your entrance.
Yeah.
Which isn't that much because it just leads off.
So basically, but where like I said, so if you see the map, if you like straight to the left, where basically where a lot of the warehouse studios are, they look like it looks like they're getting rid of a lot of those film warehouses. They're moving them. They're just going to take them out. Yeah. So they're going because even where if you look at the map, that layout they're going to have for the hotel alone, it looks like half those warehouses were going. And then if you look at where the precinct was going, like it looks like it looks like Movie World wants to cut out the business of filming films there because the studios aren't working. But like they use the studios half the time for the Fright Night that they hold all the mazes in. So it looks like they're looking to get rid of those warehouses. So who knows what's going to happen?
Fright Night's still a fantastic idea. It's just looking at the lot itself. Because it just seems they place too many rides too close to the main street, and they haven't spread it out as they could, because they can easily do, like, if they look through all their IPs, they could just do like Game of Thrones like
get
Game
the
of Thrones
biggest
Central.
ones that haven't been there before.
Yeah, exactly. Game of Thrones hasn't been done. Like, whatever else they own, like Looney Tunes, I understand. Yep, that's awesome. That's great for kids. But I've been to Universal
That should be a
Studios,
staple, no matter where it is.
and in LA and all that, and saw those and that lot. I was just like, even though you're walking for ages and there's escalators and stuff.
Oh no, okay. Looking at this picture here, that ride that I was thinking of, the Lethal Weapon ride, the Joker ride, they're actually going to repurpose that as part of a Wizard of Oz ride, actually. But it looks like they're reshaping the track, possibly, because I'm looking at this photo here.
Yeah. Make it more cohesive.
But there's like a whole bunch of rides they're adding in, yeah. Let's see if I can find the photo.
It just doesn't seem like the place is big at all. Like, it seems pretty small, like, if you're looking at it. They've just pushed the stuff pretty closer together, which is fine. Like, if you go
because
there,
they had the studios, because a lot of the stuff takes
day.
up the studios and stuff, and that was
But I mean, like, they've got room to the north, and like at least above that, like, let's say,
because that's
east. They've got more room to like the west, outwards behind it, and to the sides, like even past the studio lots. They could just build a road out to there. Or maybe like put a monorail, like a rail system that moves out to this. Like,
okay, so here it is. So it's world first Wizard of Oz precinct coming to Warner Brothers Movie World in 2024. It introduces 2 new family-friendly rides: suspended family coaster, 454 meter, which is the Lethal Weapon ride being repurposed, 19 meters high and max speed is 67 kilometers. Family boomerang racer, that's 2 racetracks of 225 and 220 meters long. 22 meters high and a maximum speed of 58. A high-capacity attractions with low height and age restrictions to provide more family experiences. It's a multi-million-dollar immersive precinct. So yeah, it's not bad. Like
Well, Warner Brothers owns Lord of the Rings.
It's literally smack bang behind.
Warner Brothers own a lot of things.
Yeah. Warner Brothers, and Wizarding World as well. Lego.
Yep.
They could have I don't know why Lego was at Dream World.
I know
they should have been at Movie World, and they could have done a whole Lego area. All the Flintstones, they even could have just done a little bit.
It's a weird mock-up, and it's in a thing. I'll send you the photo now. I'll send it on to your messenger.
I'm surprised the Flintstones hasn't come back yet.
You can't really see. It's a weird way of how it's stood, but if you zoom in on the photo, it's going to send through to you. I'll send it to you as well, Jim, so you can get the reference.
But still, Wizarding World, they could have had a Harry Potter Australia. And that would have made
they used to have the Harry Potter train, but they've repurposed it now. Because remember how it used to be the train we used to be at Movie World? Do you remember that? It was a small train. You get photos with it. They've now repurposed that as a float train, and it's the Polar Express.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like...
So I just sent you guys the photo in Messenger. But you can just see the precinct that they're trying to build.
Universal Studios, it wasn't that big, the Harry Potter. They just needed, like, the Harry Potter lane.
It was just a train. That's all it was. Like, that's all they had for Harry Potter. It was just a train and then one store.
Well, it could have been
what am I looking at?
There's the photo I sent you. You should see the park. But you can see the park they're looking at putting in.
Improved.
Like, so you can see...
DC and Looney Tunes.
That rainbow's fake.
It's all fake, but like you can see what they want to try and put in. They want to try and put in the Emerald Castle. They want to put in like the old Dorothy's like the farm, the old outback farm, and then they've got like the castle. So like there's 3 different kind of things in the precinct they want to put in.
Yeah, they could have expanded the land out and made it like even bigger and better.
So it's not too bad that they're starting with that. So hopefully, like they go with that. And I've been saying a few times they need to do more precincts. They need to organize their precincts.
Yeah, 100%.
And like add more. Even if it's not like what they need to do is because I know it's iconic and the Dirty Harry Bar has been there for years. You can't get rid of a staple, but hear me out.
You can if it's something better.
Hear me out though. Is take the Dirty Harry Bar, push that down by the Wild West. So you've actually, because there's like the diner there, move that kind of diner and push it down the Wild West. And then put across there, make the Tiki diner that matches the Scooby-Doo ride. Straight across from it.
Yeah,
so you've got the ride, and then you've got the hotel that was in like the Tiki hotel that was in the movie. You've got both parts there. Ride,
100%.
Tiki diner. You can come across, buy your food, buy your drinks because it's a bar, but it makes sense because it's the Scooby-Doo zone. Like you walk through the Scooby-Doo zone to get to like the DC villains and then the fucking Wild West. Like that's theming it. Like we need to like congregate these districts a little bit better. Like Not just have this bit here, this bit here, this bit here. Like,
I think they need to expand so they can create more of new districts. And I think adding a Harry Potter one would kill.
Oh, it would definitely kill if they put 100%. Harry Potter.
If they could do the Wizarding World themed area.
Oh, at least,
boycott happening.
At least there's a physical place they can go and boycott.
Right?
Yeah.
They can actually physically go and...
You mean they actually have to leave the house?
Yeah, they can actually go and...
But no, you put the Wizarding World thing furthest back, so that means they actually have to walk.
You know what they need to do? They need to bring back the Gremlins ride.
Gremlins, yeah.
Like, bring back the Gremlins ride. That ride was great, because it had Beetlejuice at the end. Like, what a twist.
Ooh. Spoilers.
I think they need to expand. Expand out, so they can take more land. And then...
Like, that's exactly it. Knock down some of your warehouses, because clearly you want to knock down your warehouses. And if you're going to build a hotel, I think what needs to happen is you need to have... Especially if you're building a hotel, is if you're going to have the hotel where it is, which is basically next to... It's in that little allotment there where the warehouses are, which is just next to... there was a map. I should have sent you the map. But it's just... It's going to sit in just behind... Where they want to put the precinct for the Wizard of Oz... It's basically going to sit next behind that where some of the warehouses are. So it sits like basically overseeing the. It would be right behind the Justice League ride. So so if you looked at it would be right next to the big purple Joker ride, and it'd be right next, and it would be right between the Superman ride. That's where they wanted to put the hotel.
Yeah. So
if you're
know exactly
if you're gonna smack bang a hotel right there, you need to have the hotel in the middle. That if you look out your window, you see the park. The roller coaster, you look down, you see the Wizard of Oz, and you need to see other stuff around you. You need to feel that you're encased in these universes. So if you're going to have a hotel, you need to have, for example, if we were to have Harry Potter, have a Harry Potter side to the right, then have another precinct to the right. So then you're smack bang in that hotel, wherever you're looking at, you're seeing precincts. You're seeing a theme of something, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that one today.
It's going to be high enough. I'd put at least 8 stories minimum.
Yeah.
Make an 8-story.
And I think they wanted to go 10-story.
Yeah.
What they're aiming to.
So, and have it look over the whole lot. You can see across the road. But, definitely put a Harry Potter Wizarding World one, because they own the IP. And then maybe Game of Thrones if they own that IP as well.
Yeah.
They can have them right next to each other, so, dragons.
I know it's they want to try and keep the warehouses, but, you've got plenty of them there. Work it around. Even bring back the friggin' studio tours. Even incorporate that as doing, Universal has. Remember how Universal has the mock studio tours? Do something like that. Have a mock studio tour where you go through one of the warehouses, but it's set up as being a film, it's a mock films going on,
Why the hell isn't Lego there? Lego is one of the biggest ones as well. They need a fucking
Legoland precinct.
Lego is mad.
I think the biggest issue is Dreamworld bought the rights to that. That's why they have that store there. That's the hard part in Australia is they bought even though it's partnered with Warner Brothers, they're we got the rights to this, let's have this, and that's why it's kind of worked for them. So, because they needed that extra boost to have people come to Dreamworld.
Well, that's only 1 out of 3 from my suggestions. Definitely Wizarding World and Middle-earth.
Harry Potter. The fact is, they had Harry Potter there. We had a store. Literally, one of the stores was a Harry Potter store that they've it's still shaped the same. It's still the same thing. They just repurposed it as a store that sells Batman merchandise that 3 other stores already sells. Why'd they go away from it? I don't get why.
What does it sell Batman merch?
Yeah,
literally, there's 3-4 stores that you can walk into that will sell the exact same Batman merch. You walk into one, here's a bunch of Batman shirts. Walk into another, there's all the Batman shirts.
Now COVID's over, they need to start pulling their finger out of their ass. And if they want more people to come to those places,
is it because
I said, rely on internet and shit like that.
Because I know Warner Brothers Australia is a little bit weird with its. I guess it must be because it's licensing. It is a little bit different, but it's you're still Warner Brothers. You're still Warner Brothers.
You're still owned by the proper.
You're still under the same thing. You're partnered with Harry Potter. You're partnered with it. Bring back the stuff. We had it. Bring the store back. We've got
if
games.
They had a Harry Potter world. The game just came out. That would have boosted.
I can maybe understand because maybe it was getting stale because they weren't buying. There wasn't much merch being made anymore because it just got repetitive and they weren't really wanting to try and sell it. Maybe I could understand that. But it was kind of nice having why can't we actually have a section of Harry Potter and actually have Diagon's Alley? Give us Diagon's Alley. Actually have an area where you got to walk down and actually have a couple of shops.
Well, I've done that because I've in when I went overseas, I went to the Harry Potter land. And there's, and I got to walk down it and all that kind of stuff and went to the wand store. The wand store is always packed.
I fucking bet.
like all day. Just
I know.
constant people
That's
in
what
and
the
out.
store,
Like,
the one shop used to be like the Harry Potter store, the one at Movie World when it was just that one store. I'd love going in there because it was all themed and they had the bird owl cages out the front. And it had all this cool stuff. You could get your wands and stuff you could buy, and it was fun. Like, it was like all different Harry Potter merch.
I know the biggest thing now that I love the.
Well, I mean, I don't know how it'd go, but you could have a Rick and Morty precinct.
Star Wars. Yeah. Well,
that's Warner Brothers, but like it wouldn't go well. But
well, that's going back to the
example.
Whole,
like,
you can't like anything these days because someone wants to fucking boycott it, for one, and two, there's always someone willing to fuck up that franchise, and people turn around and say you can't like it anymore because someone does something. Well, they're not associated.
They definitely need there's just a few things that they could do that honestly that could actually fix up the park. Like they are planning to do a lot of things. I have heard the Wizard of Oz is just the start of it because it is a lot of money. I can understand why they're very hesitant. Like let's build the hotel, especially if they're building the precinct and building the hotel.
I'm a little bit kind of.
It's very niche. It is very niche.
Compared to
Harry Potter, like you've got Wizard of Oz, like that's what I mean. Like you're willing to do Wizard of Oz, but you're not willing to do Harry Potter.
Wizard of Oz is bigger than Harry Potter.
Hey, Wizard of Oz is bigger than Harry Potter.
No. It's well known. It's a staple.
That's what I mean. Like it's a actual.
But it's very niche. Wizard of Oz, I do feel is very niche.
It's very niche. It's like all right.
So is Harry Potter.
But I'm keen, and the missus is keen for it. Like I reckon it's gonna be cool because it's something new. It's fresh. Like once it's done, once it's built, it's fucking people are gonna go to the fucking movie world. It's gonna skyrocket. Like people are gonna go either way because it's new. Like I want to be the first one to see it because that was like at SeaWorld with the Leviathan ride. Fucking mind you, that. You know, what roller coaster have you been to other countries? Because you've traveled. You've been onto other
yeah.
Like, you've been on different theme parks. Have you in other places?
Yeah.
Like, what have you? What have anything
well,
fast?
I've been to other places.
Anything that's compared with us. Basically, what I should say is you've been on our roller coasters here in Australia, and you've been to other countries before.
Yeah.
The comparison of the speed to what we have in Australia. Have you been on anything faster?
Well, I never went on fast rides when I was overseas. I just mainly went to experiences and just like sitting down.
So you've never really gone on anything wild, fast roller coaster rides?
No, more like also those 4D ones, like where I think it was the 4D stuff. One.
Yep.
Yeah. I went on the Transformers one where it has like the water spray at you and all that kind of stuff. It was more like an experience.
So it wasn't really. Okay, well, have you been on an old, like, that kind of, like the Leviathan, it's the wooden track rides. Have you been on any kind of wooden track rides?
Yeah.
Have they been kind of compared with the stuff we've had in Australia? Would they compete with, like, the speed as the same as, like, any other roller coaster, or would you say they're a little bit faster or slower?
Let's go with my range of...
Pretty average?
I almost shit my pants to, like...
just chill.
Didn't shit my pants.
Yeah.
I'd say all roller coasters in my equal, except like the giant.
I was trying to find your comparison for you, like your comparison. What would you find would like the Australian roller coasters? What would you?
Be the fastest?
I think Australian roller coasters are pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I went on one. Yeah, I think they're pretty fast. Like the last one I remember ever going on is the giant drop.
Yep.
And that was just
that's more of a drop, so that's a bit different. Cause I'm just thinking of
exactly. Roller coasters.
So basically,
I went on the one at Dreamworld. Yep. That was the last one I went on.
Well, okay. So basically, like I went on the Leviathan. There was a bit of hiccup with a few stuff in it, and it was like took a while to get on it. But I was adamant to get on it. Finally got onto it. The Leviathan is the fastest roller coaster I've ever been on before. That shit is so fucking fast. It's like, holy fuck. Like, you're literally, like, pushed back in your seat and you're just, like, fucking thrown. Like, it's not badly thrown about. Like, it works right. Like, works,
It's
like,
very
gently,
controlled then.
Like,
but,
it's fucking fast. Like, been on all the roller coasters we have. I don't know whether it's because maybe it's the feeling of the tunneling because you're going through all the wood logging or like that. But, like, it's in any of the roller coasters I've been on in Australia, like, compared to, like, the Cyclone or anything like that, like, that's just comparable. Like, the Joker ride, like... This Leviathan is fucking fast. Like, it's the fastest thing I've ever been on in Australia. Like, I've never been to any other roller coasters around the world. Like, I've never been on like
Australia. Not outside of Australia. I haven't been on any of the roller coasters because it's mainly been experience rides.
Yeah, you more prefer experiences. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like
that's
the
another
fast
thing
and
too.
hard.
That's another thing that'd be nice to see back is having more experienced rides, like 4D rides. Like we need more of those back, definitely, because they were like that's what I always remember. Like movie world, I can understand it getting dated. That's why they got rid of it. Like they used to have the Batman ride. You used to go in the two capsules. You just walk in, you watch a little show, and then you walk in the capsules in the 4D. But it would be like the Tim Burton. It was like the
Imagine going through a Batcave.
Like yeah, and it was like
yeah,
it was
Batcave one
like
was the Batman ride was good. I like that.
and that was it. You'd sit in the 4D thing.
Yeah.
You strap in, and then you'd watch the screen. And it's like the whoa, and you'd pretend. But it was dated because it was following the second. Like was it the It's time to chill. It was the fucking.
Fuck.
Yeah, and they played that constantly. Like they had like the second movie, and then they had that third movie. But like
that was like early 90s, wasn't it?
They got dated. That's why they got rid of the rides because they got dated after a while. So they repurposed it into the Justice League ride. Now you shoot little guns and stuff. But like I can understand.
The Justice League.
Yeah. It's the star. What's the bad starfish?
But why are you shooting guns?
Starro. It's Starro. So you got to kill Starro. All the Starros everywhere. So you got to shoot them with the little laser pointer. It's like an arcade shooter. So you got to shoot them and get score. Oh. So you got to shoot all the Starros.
I've never been to a park. So
actually, one ride.
When you come up here, Jim, we've got to go to theme parks.
I remember now was the
Wookie will come.
I went on the Fast and Furious ride in LA. Ooh. The Fast and Furious ride, and you're thinking like, hey, it's family, family. Just every 5 minutes, hey, it's family.
Fucking hell.
I'm like, oh
but yeah, God, no, like I was saying though, Leviathan. If you like roller coasters, you like fast, fucking worth it. Yeah. But you ain't gonna catch me on that fucking Trident fucking thing. Fuck that, dude. That thing's like goes up like 10 stories in the air, right? Do you know how you held on? By a fucking little piece of fucking... It's just like a normal, like... It literally is. You know how you get those chairs... Yeah, it's just like a normal chairlift. Like, you know how you go on the little chair... Like, any theme park you go to, and it's like the little belt you put on? Like, any
the big...
chair... Yeah, it's literally that, and you're going 10 stories in the air.
That's safe.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, maybe if there was an over harness... Hey, I'd go for it. But the fact that it's exactly the same as any other chair ride, and it goes 10 stories in the air, I'm like, nah, fuck that. That's fucked. Like, how do these rides...
The giant drop was fantastic, though.
Like, giant drop, you're fully harnessed. Like, that's fine. Like, I don't know how these rides that can go 10 stories in the air. Yeah, it's a gentle little spin around, but you're 10 stories in the air, held on by a basic seatbelt. That I can literally unplug. Like, there's no safety thing holding it in. There's no safety lock.
And I can still, like... those type of... That type of safety. That reminds me of the old carnival safety rides.
Yeah, it's like that.
Like the roller coasters, like, just...
Like, I can understand being 5 stories in the air, maybe, but not 10. Like, it's really fucking high. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, my neck.
But I know what you mean. Like, yeah, as you're saying, Movie World does need a makeover.
My neck is so sore.
The whole place is... I wouldn't say the whole place is dated. I just mean it's like...
I mean, dated things. Fucking SeaWorld took the Vortex, which was DreamWorld's old fucking Wipeout. They literally took it, put it in fucking SeaWorld, relabeled the Wipeout to Vortex, and like, hey, here's a new ride. The only thing it doesn't do is when it still does the thing. Like, it still does that, and the thing still spins. It just doesn't do the whole... that thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the reason why they got rid of it. Because that was being that was starting to fuck up the ride. That's why they stopped using it. So then they were like, and it's like, it's not working with what we wanted. And
we can't really talk about DreamWorld fucking up their rides right now. It's that's probably one of the reasons why some people don't come back to DreamWorld.
Oh, don't even that's on the people. Don't even blame it on the theme park. Fuck me.
Oh yeah. The fact that killed people.
I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's big. Do you know why? But yeah, okay. It was down a little bit of water, but as a person on the ride, you follow the ride and you move with it. You don't sit there going, this is taking forever. Let's rock it.
No,
we need
the ones where the ride actually broke.
Yeah.
That's the
It broke. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
And many people have died by doing that. Like rides breaking.
Well, that's what the thing was. Like they saw like that was the thing with that.
It's because the maintenance wasn't being done.
Well, there was that too, but like that's why the water was because the maintenance was up to
It's a combination of idiotic people on all areas. Yeah, it's the people that don't do the maintenance.
Like that's why the water was low for one. So technically, it should have been a little bit higher because the maintenance wasn't flowing. Like I'm not trying to like protect anyone, but like still, people shouldn't be doing stupid things. Like.
Exactly. Play stupid games, win stupid
Like, it sucks that people lost their lives, but they literally were doing stupid things. But, like, you shouldn't be losing your life for doing a stupid thing. But, like...
Yeah, we know that.
It was the biggest consequence. Like, fuck.
There is a thing called, a Murphy's Law or what is that? But
that's like the only thing we've really had. Like we've had rides break down a lock and stuff, but like that was the only real like danger we've had in Australia was that flipping, and that was really it.
Yeah.
One incident, but then now we've got the worst problem is now you have people complaining because all these safety procedures. Oh, the rides are shutting down for maintenance all the time. Oh, the rides stop because someone dropped their phone.
Keep you safe.
Like it's like that's why because we don't want people to die anymore. We've already had people die. We don't want that to happen. Like, But they scrapped the buzzsaw because that was starting to lock up a few times. So they scrapped the buzzsaw out of there at Dreamworld and they put that new ride in. That's Steel Taipan, whatever the fuck it is.
Steel Taipan.
Steel Taipan. Yeah, it's a weird. It makes no sense for Dreamworld.
Yeah.
Dreamworld doesn't really know what they're doing. I feel like Dreamworld definitely doesn't know what they're doing. They always seem to have
Steel Snake is a ride.
Steel Taipan, yeah, that's the name of the ride. It's a twisty ride. Even the ride at one point section changes track. It's fucking weird.
I'll put it this way: when you start looking at like things like theme parks and that, and you start looking what they've done and what they're doing, and if it just seems completely idiotic, it probably is.
Oh, I'll be back.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah, now it's and I don't want to say they're doing a bad job, but it just seems like they are. So I
wouldn't say it's bad jobs. It's more no innovation.
Decisions.
It's all.
But who's to say it isn't management
and
as
bad
well?
decisions?
But then also that comes down to probably bad management. Who knows as well? Like there might be good people doing the good jobs, but those good people,
like the workers who work there, do want to do good jobs, but it's just they let them do.
If it's the leadership that's causing it as well, causing the good people to leave, and then they just hire, people that are doing it half-assed,
juniors or something like
juniors, and they just
never done it before.
Yeah, exactly. If they're doing, if companies constantly have that, and if they don't realize they're doing that, they need to realize. They need to look into it and find out if they're competent or not, if they're actually hiring competent people. Because in my experience, most of the time, if good people come into a position and they realize that there's incompetent people running the place, they won't turn around and say, "Hey, look, I think here's some constructive criticism." I would all be taken one way out. Yeah, they won't take it as constructive criticism. They'll think that you're trying to either go for their job or they're just literally calling them an idiot.
That's where it's sad because
it's sad. It's
most people want the best intentions, but they don't think that. Like
no, they don't. And then that's why good people always leave good jobs, or at least good people leave positions where they're needed, but they won't stick around because there's incompetent people in charge.
Exactly.
And that's a very common thing that I see, and then that's why they go off and do their own thing, and then they're better for it. It's good, but in the places where they were needed, like they've just lost that experience right there, and they won't realize until
and they wonder why it's gone down to fucking shitter. Like
exactly why it's realized it's gone down to fucking shitter. And if you don't, like for example, if you don't pay people the right way as well, don't pay them the right amount. Don't treat them the right amount, you're going to lose good people. And it's going to be too late.
That is the main thing.
That is the main thing, and it happens to a lot of companies that I've either personally
that and the way they get fucking treated,
heard about. Yeah, exactly, and So and that's why I think also with the games lately they've been coming out, a lot of the good games, the independent games, because it's done by people who are actually passionate and actually know what they're doing. Whilst you've got other,
like
other companies.
Atomic Heart. That's a pretty fucking good game.
Well,
How passionate about it.
I think
Hogwarts Legacy
before the podcast, which was with for example, Mick Gordon. The guy who did
Doom soundtrack.
Doom soundtrack. He was dicked around, right?
Yeah.
He gave them the original files, and they didn't use them.
Yeah, and then they got someone else to do it because they were like, oh, well, and it came down to sloppy management.
Oh, fucking hell.
And that's a fine example of what I said before. If you have sloppy management, that's just all ego or whatever or whatnot, or just incompetence, or they just did half-assing or what, who knows. But if you're fucking around the people who actually know what they're doing and who are actually experienced and actually are good at their job, you fuck them around too much, they will leave. And then
hell yeah!
Someone who was a
There's
milestone.
been many examples of that.
And then, for example,
this is a main one. Bungie, Microsoft, and Activision fucked them around.
Yeah.
And they just left both times.
Oh, my neck is so fucking sore.
Oh, okay. I need more margarita mix.
Oh.
I think you say you need more tequila. I'm like, fuck.
Oh.
I'm done now.
Oh.
What on earth? Oh, it's a picture you painted, wasn't it? Back there.
Oh, yeah, my paintings.
I thought it was a TV for some fucking reason.
That thing's fucking huge.
Fucking massive.
I got all kinds of paintings.
Did you paint them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was friggin' a cloud with a green moon.
The green moon.
This is fucking huge.
That is big. I was like,
that's a huge
bigger than I thought.
I got fucking a lot of paintings. I'm trying to sell these. I just want my paint. I got all these paintings I want to get rid of. They're taking up space. I get bored and I do paintings, and it's like, what am I gonna do with these things? I got nowhere to put them. People want to buy them? Like, fuck.
People want to buy them.
Like these ones too. Like they're pretty cool paintings. Like,
put them up on the podcast website.
Kind of.
Yeah, true.
This was like the joke. Oh, this one was cool. This is the Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Yeah, or like send them out to listeners and just say, hey, look, here's postage and handling. You can have it for free.
That's true.
For free.
Like this was another one. So this was like because I did this through Halloween and I was doing like a theme. So you know how like a gothic house, you know gothic, spooky, and it was meant to be like a haunted house, right? So the idea was it's meant to be a haunted house, and usually haunted houses have like haunted paintings on their walls. So this was that's what I thought. The theme was it was a painting of a haunted, like a wall with a haunted painting on the wall, and this was the painting that's on the wall.
Cool. Yeah, that's nice.
So that's. Do we know what that location is? Do we know what that?
Windows.
Yeah. The most haunted wallpaper ever. It's the Windows meadows with the clouds and everything. I got it exactly right. Like, I would be haunted too if I went into a house and I saw that picture up on a fucking wall. I'm like, nah.
It's literally a window on a wall.
And then you find out that painting's been in the Epstein house.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
All kinds of shit. Like I've got fucking
the Epstein house.
Yes, and then there's the story behind it. It's like that's the field where I murdered all the people.
Like, well, this is. They look like decent individual kind of paintings.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's like a weird whatever's going on there. But what actually is, it's actually a 4-piece fucking connection. What the fuck? Which one's which? That.
It's a 4-piece.
That. Oh, I'm trying to think how I'm gonna hold
like
these.
KFC 4-piece.
Yeah.
Oh, 2-piece. Sorry.
No one does. My Discord's frozen.
Your Discord's frozen. I gotta try and see if I can hold these together.
Haven't we reached the 3-hour mark yet?
My
not far yet. But we can.
It literally has frozen.
Oh yeah.
Am I moving?
So four paintings. It's got 2 planets and a rift.
Yeah.
So that was another one I did. I just got these fucking things just around. I thought, oh fuck it. They've technically fallen down after I
Just gonna close Discord.
I put it up on the over the website, or make prints of them and put them on t-shirts.
Well, there's plenty of t-shirts. Speaking of t-shirts, check out the Beardy well, that's actually my. Oh, Jim's frozen. Holy shit, he actually is frozen.
Yeah.
On the Redbubble, we have the Dragon Ball merch up on the Redbubble. The Beardy Bros Dragon Ball.
I'm back.
It is back.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, you froze and everything.
Like,
Yeah, I got into doing planets for a while. It was a big thing doing planets. I like doing planets. These were,
doing planets.
Cool.
Yeah, call you Captain Planet.
Yeah.
And then that was just kind of one of the first ones. It's kind of like not the best, but
It looks like a sun.
yeah, like all kinds of things. 3 planets.
It looked like a
It's
sun.
kind of fun to do, and they're not that. Well, to me, they're not that.
Or
It's
put them up on Facebook Marketplace to sell.
yeah, Facebook Marketplace. Oh, that's actually true.
Facebook Marketplace.
Do you reckon I could sell stuff like that on eBay?
Uh,
Do you reckon that stuff would sell on eBay?
eventually.
Maybe.
Eventually.
Weird market.
They really got to put them at a right price
like
point, which
it's something that'd be weird to sell on
it's
eBay.
kinda-
Like it's an odd thing to sell on eBay. Like I feel like
It
eBay
is. It is.
man,
It
it could
very
happen.
Etsy, I know that'd be a place to like sell them on.
Could happen.
Etsy.
Yeah, but do you use Etsy?
Not
I don't.
really.
I
I
don't know how
browse
that
it
fucking
sometimes,
works.
but since I do have my eBay account now, which is fun, I've got to put more stuff on my eBay account.
On your eBays.
On my eBays.
The essays.
Essay, bruh. I've had people view the thing a few times I've put up on there, so. It's not too bad.
People view the essays.
Didn't Movie World used to have like a Peter Pan area?
I don't even remember.
What one used to have Peter Pan?
I don't even know.
Nah.
Peter
I
Dinklage.
don't even think there was. Was there Peter Pan?
Might have been a Peter Pan.
Oh, our friend Bushido is live.
That's random.
He's playing Resident Evil.
That's random.
Right.
How did you even know that?
I just looked at my phone.
So I'm looked on Marketplace. Yeah, there's plenty of paintings.
Although, what?
I'm just thinking whether it'd be something I should try and do. Collect, put up for sale, come collect.
Yeah, some people are doing it for free. Some do it like $20, $30.
I think you can't price art. It's like it's
It's
time,
hard.
and it's like, but how did?
But like some of the stuff I just want, it would be nice to just keep going if people are interested in buying it. Like,
yeah,
$20
just put it up. Yeah,
$25.
$20 or something, 25, maybe 30. Some people charging like upwards, depending on the detail. Whether they're just prints, if it's like original stuff, you can probably charge
a
a
bit more because it's an original.
Yeah.
People like that. I actually like that.
All art's original. You can't replicate another one exactly.
But
Well, yeah, but if it's original or print, if it's a print, then, you know, just like I can have the Mona Lisa sitting in my fucking bedroom, but it's most likely going to be a print, or unless I'm really good at running.
I mean, you're wearing the jumpsuit.
Really good at running.
Yeah, I'll just bring a gun into the Louvre, all right? Just.
What else
Right?
is there in my listing? Not much else. I mean, yeah, we've kind of covered what I had on my end. But yeah, no, I was gonna say I am. Speaking of con stuff, though, I am planning to go to Supernova this year anyway for my birthday. So
Supernova.
I want to try and see if I can get a photo with Carl Urban. So
There's also
PAX.
who else?
a few people going. Pax would be nice, but I don't know.
Mandalorian.
Katie Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff.
She can set
That's
me
right.
off.
What a name!
Oh, it is April. Last time they did have it in March, didn't they?
Yeah, no, it's at the Gold
Only
Coast.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah, April.
But it's on my birthday, around my birthday weekend, so I thought, I might do that for my birthday, go get a photo with Carl Urban for my birthday. 'Cause he hasn't been back since. It's been like 10
isn't
years.
April Easter holidays?
April's the 9th for Easter.
Oh, okay, so it is around Easter.
Yeah, it was the 15th, 16th is my birthday, so.
Yeah. So they have kids' holidays on that time. Okay.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
The
It was on the weekend, so I was like, I'll go for my birthday, get a photo for my birthday.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going down that weekend. I'd go.
I haven't been to a con in ages, like a decent con.
Have you heard the controversy about that? Some people are up in arms about the pricing for Katie Sackhoff.
Oh, because she just chose to charge extra for Star Wars or whatever merch.
Yeah. Which is, it's her choice. Yeah,
that's fair. Like, it's an extra because she knows like what people are going to go for. If they really want to, it's to cut the lines down so people aren't just going to be like bombarded. It's like if you really want to get that autographed, you will pay the extra for that Star Wars themed item. Like,
exactly. Because she knows that's going to be more of a resale value down the line as well. I completely.
And if anything else, it's like and Sony Star, like if you got something Battlestar Galactica related, it's fine. It's the original price.
Oh yeah,
it's only Star Wars. Like it's only the recent stuff that's been like trending. So like, anything kind of like Star Wars, because even if it's stuff that's not even her character, that is her character. Like, because I mean, she's that one character, but we've seen it around before she took on the role.
Oh, she was in Battlestar Galactica, so you know. Just...
But like that's fine. That's like she's charging normal for stuff like that. Like she's not.
Stephen Amell is also going to be there as well. What do you mean crazy?
He's a bit out there, that guy.
What do you mean out there? Definitions, context.
He's like on social media and shit. He's fucking like wild. Like he's a bit loopy out there.
What does he do on his social media? Because I don't think I follow him.
You don't follow him? Like he's fucking wild. Like he doesn't hold back. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. He doesn't really hold back, but like he's fucking savage on social media.
I mean, I'll bring up something right now. What's your name again?
Stephen Amell. Yeah, he's like savage on social media.
What, on Twitter or Instagram?
Everything. Like he's fucking like on TikTok and stuff, and he's just like he calls people shit cunts. Like he's fucking savage. Like he.
Yeah, well, why is that weird though?
just some of the stuff that's based on like
he's just keeping it real, man.
He's keeping it real. Like he gets wild. Like he's like fucking yeah. I've seen some of his shit. He just gets fucking wild. It's like bro, chill a little bit. Like you're like you know you got a good position, but like fuck like.
Well, he doesn't do Arrow anymore.
No,
he's finished up.
Yeah,
I just gave him a follow.
I think he finished up on Arrow because he was just basically
done.
Well, no, I think he wanted to spend more time with his family and that. So I think that was quite noble if it was that. If I think it was that, but also interesting fact with Stephen Amell, when he first started Arrow and that, and he knew he had to do like conventions and that. I think he don't quote me on this. I think he started his own company to do all that kind of guest work. So he really like business wise, he was just on point about making sure everything was all handled. Mark Shepard's going to be there. Supernatural, Battlestar Galactica, Doom Patrol. Crowley out of Supernatural, he's going to be there.
I just started watching Doom Patrol and I'm like, hey, it's fucking Crowley.
yeah, that's what I mean, like Crowley. I'm
so late to that show. It's so fucking good.
Oh yeah, Doom Patrol is fantastic and Supernatural. But
that's like fucking Banshee. I was so late to Banshee and that's fucking amazing. Like fuck.
I think the lineup for Supernova this year is actually quite solid, and like I think I've said this before in other podcasts, not just this one with the MK one, is that Supernova usually has normally the stale guest lineup, which is always the same people that come like 4 or 5 years in a row, which is fantastic. Like I like persistence.
They're doing it for the moolah.
Well, yeah, they're doing it for the moolah, but it kind of seemed like that's all Supernova could get for a while, and then they brought out the big guns like every couple of years, like Stanley. That was fantastic when they did that. But then it just seemed. But then there was the consistent ones that was always like all the time.
I know. I just got a bit tired with the Mel because he started getting a bit carried away and a bit cocky with his attitude.
Well, he's still Grand Arrow now. Like,
it just got to a point there. I don't know if he's set back, and it's more the fact that he stopped being humble. Like he was a bit humble at first, and then he got very cocky and. He kind of just like one of those people that took the fame and he got a bit arrogant. Like
no, he kind of got sick of the bullshit, I reckon.
He just got a bit arrogant to a point. And...
Well, yeah, he hasn't been Arrow for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, he was Arrow for...
Maybe he might have cleaned himself up and he's
Flash season 9.
A bit more humble again because he
hasn't been in anything. Like he hasn't been in anything in a while.
It's just some weird shit I come across for a while there, and he's just stopped.
Has he only done Arrow though? Is that the biggest thing he's done?
Especially the only thing he's done. It was just some stuff I come across for a while there, and he was just not merely being humble, like he was just being a bit too aggressively up himself, and I was just like, bro, take a step back, and I was like, nah, like.
Oh, he was Arrow for a long time. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I think the last thing he did was Heels.
Yeah.
Which is
and that's why I feel like he took that role of becoming like Arrow, and he got a bit high almighty from it. And then once it ended, I think that might have cleaned him up. He kind of like knocked him back down a peg.
Oh, I think he might actually be in the last season of Flash, maybe.
Yeah, he is.
He said I just saw his tweet that he was happy to be back. But anyway, that's just my opinion anyway. Like I don't,
We don't know him personally, so we can't judge.
Just some of the stuff. It's just I came across some post or something. Something happened. He goes, it was something to be. I don't know what it was. It was just some choice. It's like it basically come off basically how I felt when I was reading. It was like tough luck if you're not going to choose that choice. You better off just dying right in hell kind of thing. Like that kind of attitude. It was just like tough luck to you. I'm not pitying you. Sorry, go die. I was just like, bruh, like chill. Like be a little bit more like polite about it. Like don't be so like fuck. Like fuck you. Kind of attitude. Like don't come.
Yeah, but it could have been to. That's taken out of context, though.
Yeah, I was just like, and there was a few times he was posting like that.
Context matters.
Like, and that's exactly it. He might have been posting a lot of stuff out of context, but it's like, bro, just chill. Like, fuck, calm down a little bit. Like, you don't need to be so.
Like that could have been someone who just annoyed the complete fuck for years out of him. Like,
yeah. But it's like, still, like, don't wish fucking death on people and die in a hole. You're just like, okay, fine, whatever, block you, move on. Like, don't give them the light of day. Like, if something's like that's happening, don't give them the light of day. Like. You're doing the one thing that they want, like fuck.
Yep.
But it's just like
that happens.
It was just like it's just like a step back. I was just like, fuck, this dude's going like, and he had like a lot of these posts for a while and stuff like that. I was like, fuck, like dude, just chill, like, fucking hell, like calm down, like.
Because when you get as big as he was doing Arrow, you get a lot of fucking
Yeah.
psychos and
But
fucked up things happening.
Yeah, you
I think
do
he's
attract
sick
a
of
lot
it.
of undesirable people in the sense of, you know, morality and.
But yeah, it's just still just like fuck, like, don't stoop. If that's the case, don't stoop to their level, like, you know.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just gonna step back from that for now, and I'm just gonna unfollow. Maybe you know, I'll come back to it. Let's see again because I wasn't liking the, you know, it was like I wasn't really liking. It was like, bro, like, just ease up. Like I was just like, fuck this. I'm stepping away from this. I don't need this energy in my feed. Like I don't need this energy coming up. Like fuck. Like
Yeah. It doesn't align with your
Yeah, it's just like there's a time and place to like, you know, place your energy. Like fuck.
I do like the lineup though. It's like
a good lineup. Like he loves coming back. Like he's done it a few times, so he's loving it. So.
I would definitely go see Carl Urban, Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah, because it's been like 10 years, I think, since he's been here. I think it was 2013 he was last year.
Well, remember, I think I remember Carl Urban coming years ago, and he before doing The Boys, and it was like I think he just did Star Trek. That was it.
Yeah,
about 2013.
So, yeah. And then I think they wanted him back for Dread. And that's what I was...
Yeah, that's right.
That came out 2014.
Yeah.
He came because he was promoting Dread before it came out. I think that's what it was.
So yeah, I'll definitely go see Katie Sackhoff at Carl.
It's like $100 for a photo, which is not bad. That's pretty worth it. $100 group photo.
Yeah, for like once a year, just go see him. Just
take
have
the family, get a group photo with him.
Photo.
Like, hey, you give me my family photo.
That's the thing that always got me was like whether I was weighing up like, oh, should I get a photo with him or just a signature? And you don't ever know.
The fact that he was gone for so long, he hadn't come back. Like, I mean, I can't understand we had COVID.
No. But I'm just talking in general, like in the sense of when you go to a convention, like, do you weigh it up with, do you have a photo with him or do you get a signature? And like, if you had to choose between the two, I'd say photos are definitely worth it in that sense because that means you actually have a photo physically.
And you can look at it like 10, 20 years later.
Well, that's like that. Like we got to because we met. Where was one of the cons we managed to go to? It was during COVID. It was pre-COVID. Was it during COVID? No, it was pre-COVID. It would have been pre-COVID. It was just before it. Like we went and we saw Drake Bell. We got a photo with Drake Bell because it was like Al always liked Drake Bell. I was like, yeah, that's fine. We'll go do that. Get a photo. Got a family photo. Like I even dressed up as.
I have no idea who that is.
Drake and Josh. No, okay. But yeah, so I got a photo. We got a group photo of all of us, the family, you know, with Drake Bell. I even put the extra effort in because I was like, oh, I'll dress up as one of the characters. So I dressed up as Cowboy Spider-Man.
That dude.
Because he voiced Cowboy Spider-Man in the anime and the cartoon, so I was like, oh, I'll dress up as that for it, and got a photo with him. And then when we got the autograph, and the autograph was just worthless. Like we had more interaction with him as getting the photo than walking up to him at the line, which no one was at, and he was just sitting there gallivanting and joking around with his friends, like at the booth. Like, I was like, this seems like really like stepped away. Like there was no interaction.
I think sometimes when taking photos, like when I see photos from conventions, I think the booth photos, like the like instead of doing the signatures, I think the photos together are much better, because the interaction that the fans have with them. Like because you're doing a signature, it's just like in, sign, out.
Yeah, and even when it was quiet, like I can understand if you've got like a massive line of people, I can understand like trying to like balance that time because you want to get through like the 200 people waiting. But the fact that there was no one there, we're like, well, we've got our ticket, we can go up whenever and get the autograph, and we had already had the photo, like, let's go up now. And it's literally quiet, no one was standing there talking, and he was just there playing around with the notepad, like a little sticky notes drawing on that and chit-chatting, and then we walked up, and he was like, okay, hey, and just wrote the thing down, and that was it. Like, he didn't, like, interact or want to chat or anything like that. And we're like, oh, okay, like, you try to take the opportunity.
Sometimes we get, it's opposite, like, I do regret getting, like, signature with, it's not that I regret the signature.
Like, John Barron was my favourite. But yeah, anyway.
Oh god, I shouldn't forget his name. But you know, like Hot Fuzz. You know the what's his name?
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost.
Nick Frost, Nick Frost. I got Nick Frost's signature. And I bought his book.
Yep.
And I went got Nick Frost got his signature, and he was kind of like it was open for me to just have a casual conversation with him, but I was kind of nervous saying, oh shit, it's Nick Frost because book. And it was like in and out because I was really nervous.
Oh.
It was one of those situations when I was first going to cons.
Pretty much. Dunked
well,
on.
Like I said, you could pick up the triggers, so you know the social triggers. Like you saw social triggers, but you were nervous. Basically, you saw.
Yeah, it was
that
my fault. That was kind of like I kind of did like the business transaction. That's what it felt like.
And that's what
but
like
but I was getting a hint that like he wanted to have a chat and have a talk and
that's
stuff.
What
but
you were just like,
and literally that. Like when that's like me. We walked up as the family to go to Drake, and he was literally there, just like sitting there going, fiddling around like this, and it's like, oh hey, how you doing? Like there was no connection to say he wanted to chat. Like that was the worst part. There was no interaction, no trigger, no like he didn't really make eye contact. Like he just looked down on the time. Yeah, okay, cool. What's the names? Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Some of them are like that.
Come on,
but. I think, like, if you do want a bit of interaction, I think the photos are the go.
Yeah.
Rather than getting the signatures, it just totally depends on who they are and how you are.
Yeah.
Because they might be up for it, but you might be like, and it's just the best. You're gonna make the best of it of what you can, and I think that's how it comes down to.
John Barrowman was great because, like, I remember doing that when we had Jack
John Barrowman, like
Captain Jack Harkness,
Yeah. I think
he
John
loved
Barrowman
it. Like
experience is always good.
Like he did that, and he remembered when we went back the year or so later when he came back. Like we took him with Jack, and Jack was a baby, and we had him dressed up as him. And he was like, "Oh my god!" When we first saw him, and we got 2 photos out of it. We got 2 photos, and we went and saw him for the autograph, and he loved it. Like we actually chat with him, like when we went and got the autograph. Like we had a little chit chat, and he was just like he loved like the costume and everything, and he thought it was great that he wanted to get 2, and we got 2 photos out of it. We paid the one thing, but we got 2 photos. We got one of Barrowman and Jack. And then we've got the group photo of us, like because he just wanted an extra. He goes, give him the extra photo,
Flash Man, Little James.
Yeah.
Well, like he's whenever Michael Rosenbaum, Lex Luthor comes to town.
Yes, he loves it.
James always goes to see him, and he always remembered James.
Yeah.
And they always have a chat and talk about stuff like that, like they're old friends. And I went with him one time. And it was like that. You just kind of like standing there going, "Holy crap, they're like old friends."
Yeah. And it was like that when I saw Barrowman.
And it feels like that. Yeah. It feels.
He remembered us when we went back again, and we went back that year or so later. And I think it was like the year later, and Jack was like, we modified the costume, and he still remembered it. He goes, "Oh, hey," he's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" It's like, "Oh my god, look at you grown!" Like he remembered that he had seen us previously, and he had grown. He was like surprised, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And he was happy to see us.
That's where I like
the fact that these people remember, like when they remember, even if it's just a year apart, they still remember you with all the cons they go to and all the people they meet. They still remember. Like you don't even have to say it. They're like, "Oh my god!" Like
They're the ones that I like that come back all the time. They're the ones that are really good at coming back. Those people were the ones that
I regret not seeing Carl Urban many times before. Like I always was hesitant to wanting to get a photo. I was like, "Oh yeah, no," because I was never really big into it. Like I'd always go to the cons and I'd look at the stores. I'd like, "Oh look, there's celebrities," and I'd always like kind of want to, but I never really thought about doing it. And I personally kind of regret not doing more of that. Like there's a lot like having David Hasselhoff, like Christopher Lloyd. Like I honestly really regret that I never got the opportunity and did more of the photos.
Reflecting now,
like, I wish I did more of that.
Reflecting now that I was kind of like, oh god, they're here again. But saying it, there were ones that were like, oh yeah, good that they're here again. There were others though, they were kind of like, all right, they're here again, but they weren't changing up the main lineup. They were like the secondaries, am I right?
Yeah.
So, and those secondaries were good. Like I didn't mind them coming again and again. It was good. Because seeing the interactions between other fans, that they were good. But then it was just when Supernova was doing the whole main lineups, though, the main lineups ended up being like they weren't even good they weren't proper main lineups, if you know what I mean. They weren't like, and not until they brought in like, Stan Lee or a few of the others were like, all right, this is how convention is. Because I did the comparison when I went to Stanley Comic Con back, when Stan Lee was still alive.
Yeah.
And I went to that one, and I was like
that when he came to I had to go to Sydney because I missed that time. He was because he came to Brisbane and then he came to Sydney, a year or so later. Like his last trip when he came to Sydney, I was like, we're road tripping, going down to Sydney. I need to see Stan Lee. And it was great, and just that little hey, how you doing? Like I was like, it gave me chills. Like it was great.
But I was just saying, like going to that convention compared to the others, I was like, it seemed like every it was like majority of them, like they all were the main ones. Ended up being for like the headliners for Supernova in like Australia. and they were like all the regular ones at those ones, and I was like, holy shit, you know, we're missing out. And that's when I had that gripe where it was like Super just seemed kind of like, oh,
yeah,
we're
see,
getting
that's
all
exactly
the
because even her, like, if I was just looking now, like her photograph is only $80 for Katie.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Like that's like 100 for Urban. Like I can understand like he's a little bit high tier actor and he's like in a bit more demand, so I can understand capitalizing on it a little bit. But like it's not bad. Like the
I think it's mostly because of the boys.
The most expensive, well, the most
really
expensive we ever had was when Chris Hemsworth came, and he was like $250 for a photo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that was the most expensive we've ever seen at a con.
Hang on, but that's why I think like that should be free for anyone because they're getting paid by the people to be there.
Yeah.
Well, you always think of that, but like they actually have the people that they're paying them to be there, right? But they're not just paying them to be there; they're paying for their overheads, and there's probably something in their contract where it's like a percentage of those sales will go to them, and it makes it more worthwhile for them to be there because. Like they,
they can bring the price down a bit, like even $50.
Yeah,
I put it down to supplies, time, and money because they could actually be filming something for that time, and they could be earning twice or 3 times that much for that.
I mean, way more than that.
Way more than that.
Stephen Amell is charging 110.
That's
like what 100?
110. Well, Carl Urban's 100.
He again.
I'm just like, nah. I'm like, I don't know. Personally, I feel like Urban's more high tier than Amell, but that's just me. Like, and that's not to do with like my opinion of how he is. I've seen Urban's been there longer. He's done more films. He should be worth more, if that makes sense, because he's a veteran of, you know what I mean. That's how I see it personally. Like, because then you got that chick that's with him, that chick that started in Arrow, and she's only charging $80 a photo. Like, bro, you only did Arrow, like, and that, like, come on, like. I don't know, like Mark Shepard, he's been around a little bit longer, but he's been like, not too much. How much is he charging? $90 for a photo. Like, I'm actually tempted to get a photo with Katie, because my dad actually likes Katie, and I'm kind of tempted whether to get a photo for my dad. There'll be a photo with me and her because he loves Battlestar Galactica, and he loves Katie Sackhoff. Like
it's so fucking good too. That.
And I'm like, maybe I should get a photo and give it to my dad for his birthday. A photo of me with Katie, being like, happy birthday, Dad, you know, and then be like, prepare and just have it set away for like, for a future, like, because his birthday's in June. Like, I could do that. I could actually be like, go there, get a photo, and have a sign like, happy birthday, Dad, and then like, hey, it's my birthday now, but I want to pre-plan this for my dad in June. But like, happy birthday, you know.
It's so weird looking at Carl Urban from Star Trek. That looks so fucking weird.
When he has no beard, it's just so funny. So I'm actually keen to wear the shirt. And get a. I reckon that's going to be a fun experience doing that, getting the shirt done. Like I have to show Wookie the photo when we're done. I don't want to put the design out there. I don't want anyone to really.
Yeah, right.
To spoil the moment, but yeah, like an autograph is 90. But like I don't think I need an autograph. Like I'm kind of done with autographs. Like I've done.
You're in Melbourne as well.
Yeah, Melbourne and Gold Coast. But I'll wait for him to sit back down and put his headset on.
I would so do the Melbourne one. Fuck yeah.
But Melbourne's not too bad for a convention. But I do have a plan for Carl Urban. So because it's my birthday, like I want to go there, get a photo with Urban, with a group photo with me, the missus, and the kids with Urban for my birthday. Like that's what I want to do. But I've been working for Wookie and those that are listening. I've been working on a design that I've drawn of Carl Urban, and I'm thinking because it's for a shirt, so I'm gonna get it, and I was gonna wear the shirt when I get the photo with Carl Urban.
Okay.
But I'm also thinking of getting another one printed and give him one as well. So
you'd have to know what size. I'd go probably for a large.
I was thinking maybe we would do like an XL just to be safe all around.
Oh, because he's
Yeah, because he's about our size, average build, and I'm like he's a little bit, but like he's about our size. He's like 6 foot. I think he's supposed to be. I think he's 6 foot. So I was like, do I go extra large or too? Like I'm thinking I don't want to be. He doesn't really wear baggy clothes, but I don't want to be too tight. Even then, I'm thinking extra large might be a good size to go with in general because it's kind of a nice average middle, being an extra large. And they're quite spacey, these shirts. So I'm thinking of doing that, like getting the shirt printed out, one for me, one for him, and just be like, here you go, because it's a nice little shirt. I'll show you the design when we're done. I don't want to really show it off yet because I want to I want to start saying to him
right
to Jim I don't want to spoil it. I want it to be a nice when I post on social media stuff look at this shirt I'm finally unveiled it because I've got it up in my store but it's privated so only I can see it. But I want the moment to be it's kind of a unique thing that only I have one and only he has one. So and it'd be exclusive in print and it's a nice little shirt so. Pretty cool. But speaking of that, how have you gone with your book, by the way? Have you got anything sorted with that yet, or?
No, I've been I was gonna get everything sorted, and then I went on holidays and went, oh yeah, I'll do it later. And then basically, and then all the work stuff happened, so I just put everything on hold and went, all right, I can't spend money because I still need to sort out the ISTP, which is basically the barcode.
Yes.
And then also I was looking at the front page and I was like, I want to change the front page.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to go on the Photoshop and play around with whether I want it just straight or a rainbow.
That's why I left it clear for you for that very reason. I gave you one of one that already had it and I left the clear one so that you can and then also too with that I gave you the basic just the image. Did I give you just the image itself? So you can change the coloring of the background and stuff like that? Yeah. Yeah. Because that's why I do that because I do that as well when I do my stuff. So then there's a set format that matches everything. And then there's a format so that it gives you room yourself to go, I don't like that. And you don't have to come back to me then and be like, can we do this? Can we do that? It's the base style and then you can run with that. And then even if you don't like to do that, you can go with something else if you want to do something else, Yeah. And that's why
I was kind of like, oh, okay, what should I have? So I just need to sort out the front page and I need to work out ISTP. Everything else, I've already put all the writing, everything throughout the book. So it's all put together. And I just need to resize it, and that's it.
Because honestly, it was it was a weird project for me to jump into, and it was a bit hard at first to try and motivate. But once I got the swing going, it kind of was just spitting out as I went, and I had new ideas, and I had I had one blueprint, let's get it done, and then I was like, okay, let's change that to this, and let's do this and that and this, and it just kind of flowed as I went through, and it was actually kind of a fun project. Honestly, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, so. I've just been a mixture of lazy, worried about work.
Because definitely once you've got it done and sorted, it'll be nice to promote it as well. Once you've got it done, we'll promote it and stuff. It'd be good to.
Yeah. Well, I need to work out. It won't just be for the back, the ISTP. I just want it working out for the back page, which is just. Or maybe I got where you got to put the whole author, director, all that kind of bullshit.
It's usually you can put it anywhere. You can choose yourself whether you want to have it on the front or on the back, or it's the second page or something like that. There's different places you can choose to put it. So you just got to figure out where you want it.
I just need to refine it more, and
but it's hard because I've been telling people this project I've worked on and I've done a book and stuff, and they're like, oh, it's not done yet, and we're trying to wait on this and that. And I'm excited because I can't wait to get it and show it off because it's so different than I've done. It's the same thing. It was the same thing for me because it was hard at first, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get through it.
Motivation and kind of getting other stuff.
Because then it adds to it. Once we've got it, then I can actually because of the contractual agreement, I can't. What I've got with you is because the privacy thing is I can't really show it because I can't show anyone because so I can't really do anything portfolio wise, and that's why I'm once it's done then I'm like, hey, I've actually done something, here's actual proof of a portfolio and I can photograph it and stuff and put it into a book. It's not on your end, it's just it sucks trying to explain it to people. It's I can't wait. I'm excited just as you are. I'm excited to actually see it because something that I've done that is actually going to be produced and published. It's
it's a mixture of because of work. I'm like, oh, okay, what am I going to do for,
I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited for you.
And all that kind of stuff. So I've just been doing that, and then I still got to pay for the ISTP. Yeah. And then it was just to work out the writing on the inside or whether on the back page.
Does it cost much for that IST? What the ISP?
Not that much. I'm just still trying to sort out
the best.
You can pay for a single one. I think it's $100, which isn't that much. But like I said, I've just been all right, I can't go out do stuff. I've got to make sure my job is security. A job is secure and kind of all right.
I was just curious because if I decide to go down that route myself down the track, or with the missus, because she wanted me to do one for her as well. We've been looking at possibly doing a an actual children's book. Because she got a few ideas and now I've done one for you actually illustrated. I've kind of got the idea of how to kind of maybe approach it. And she's wanting to write something, and I was thinking, well, you don't do too much extensive. It's just very simple to the point. Because I did all that research while doing it too, looking at how, actually looking at books and how do they pace it, how it just.
Well, there was another one I thought about. It was I called it the Curious Hamster.
Yep.
And essentially it's kind of like you've got the hamster and you've got another character which is like Richard Gere. Richard Gere, that's it.
Yeah.
So if you know the
we could call him Richard Gere.
Well, yeah, it's so essentially it's the story like that. I'm gonna give spoilers. Essentially, the Curious Hamster.
Just Lemmy
No, he goes into this magic cave, which is the guy's asshole.
Yeah,
and
but that's the same, isn't it? Just like Lemmy Winks, like that's just basically Lemmy.
Well, he experiences a magical world of all possibilities, and it goes through pages of the page.
Yeah.
And it's just each magical world where it's like he's a pirate on a ship and all that kind of stuff.
So each page could be
and it's the gerbil, and he's just finds himself from page to page. But then the spoiler
that actually worked.
The ending of the book, he's actually dead.
Yep. Oh, yep. So it's like the ghost. Yep, the ghost kind of.
Yeah, no. He actually died in the guy's anus, and he just imagined all these things as his last moments before his death.
Yeah.
Fuck. What a way to go.
That's yeah, exactly. It's a good way.
Oh, I have the idea in my head. Damn.
So,
fuck, that's in my brain. I have the idea.
Exactly. You can imagine it right now. It's a great story.
Fuck, I can. Yeah.
It's like
cool. I've already got the illustrations in my head, like what I.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just be like the hamster.
Because what we were planning to do was like guinea pig card. Like it would work because I'm looking at doing like a guinea pig children's book kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it would kind of be in the same vein, but that'd be like an actual darker, mature version.
Yeah, it's a very dark version because it's about a story of a hamster or gerbil that dies in a guy's asshole, and it's just like the last moments is kind of spread out. You know, when you see the flashes of your life.
Yeah, it's like that.
Imagined stuff instead of it actually happened. It's just the gerbil's life flashes before his eyes before it suffocates and dies in the guy's anus, and then it's just the last page, and you find out that the gerbil is dead. And he was just imagining all those things, and the guy is either at the ER getting the dead gerbil out, or he's just literally just shitting out in the toilet. And you see the gerbil there floating in the toilet bowl, and that's like the last page at the end.
Yep. That wouldn't be about the toilet bowl shot.
Just that's my next
toilet bowl shot.
Half shit, half
drink
gerbil.
too, actually.
Sit in the bowl.
That's the next book. But
no, anyway, that's something we could look at down the track anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already giving you ideas. You can draw it up. And
I haven't had much in the way of digital stuff at the moment for commission, so I've just been designing shirts and stuff, and like there's the Dragon Ball designs I've been doing. Like there's the Beardy Bros Dragon Balls design, and there's the other Dragon Ball stuff I've been doing. Been pretty fun. So for my store for the Redbubble stuff, which has been pretty good, but not much else has really been happening. Like, I haven't really had many commissions going on lately, and it's just like one of those things. And it's like I don't blame people. Like there's a lot of people doing commission work as it is, and at the point of time it is the start of the year, everyone's trying to save. It's just coming back in.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going into like everyone's going to recessions and shit. It's just like in one of those points. So
I know it just seems like because of everything at the moment, I'm just like not as motivated, like because of work and all that. It's just finding out whether or not if I had a job.
Yeah.
And then
that's me. That's why I'm at that point, because like literally I still have no job. And I'm trying to find these ways to make this my job. Like, I'm trying to do more of the graphic design stuff to try and get an income or something. I had paintings in my free time just so I could have for fun, to give me something to do, so I wasn't just sitting around on my ass all day,
Well, if I didn't see you for work, I was going to go and jump on Fiverr. That was my other option.
Yeah.
So it was
kind of nice when that came through. I was like, yeah, I'll give that a go. And it was something different to try. And I was like, it was a nice little, checkbox, work on a book. Like, that's a little, bucket list kind of thing almost, like, boom,
Yeah. Well, we'll talk later. I might actually, we'll definitely have some.
Because, like I said, I've got like a lot of free time still, and I'm looking at heading down that route of doing stuff, because trying to find work is hard with the way that everyone's talking about the recession wise, with that's possibly trying to not happen. The way they're planning to not have it happen is a bit fucked for me when I'm already don't have a job, and more people again are looking like they're mostly going to lose their jobs. It's just like I need to start trying to get that path of being my own boss and doing my own business and trying to find things that I can do to make the income.
Well, part of it is trying to hunt.
And it's trying to find that people that need something done, while, again, you've got Fiverr, but, like, it's hard trying to have I don't really want to jump on Fiverr and advertise myself on there when there's a million other people already doing that. It's like, I'm just going to get lost in the sea. It's hard.
Yeah, but at least by having the ad up there,
Yeah.
is just at least something like, hey, look, you
It's
might get one
something better than
million.
nothing. Yeah.
It's better than
That's why I
nothing.
started selling stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell stuff on eBay too. So.
Or sell your strip joint through Marketplace.
Yeah.
So
sell me self as a strip joint. Rent me out.
But
Not that kind of way.
I might
Well, I've been focusing more on my OnlyFans as well. So.
That works. Catfishing.
So,
that could be your new avenue.
Oh, I'm straight up just posting photos of me semi-naked with pickles. So.
Oh, okay. I thought you were catfishing people on the internet. That's one way of getting money.
Oh, I'm just accepting.
It's one way of getting free flights too.
Yeah.
You know? When you rock up to the airport and they're expecting a Katrina, but they get a pickle.
just literally rock up in a pickle suit.
Yeah.
But is there anything else? Oh no, I'm sorry.
No. But yeah, I'll talk to you later about some work.
Yeah.
So.
We got anything else for this? Because literally have hit the 3-hour mark. We haven't had a 3-hour episode yet.
Yeah. In a while. That's
what I thought. Is there anything else? Otherwise, we should possibly wrap this up.
No,
I did no reseast at all beforehand.
That's all right. It's kind of good to have a break in the metaphor.
At least I'm not dropping stories like lesbian vampire killers.
Like last time.
Like last time, yeah.
I was going to mention that earlier by accident. Also, when you mentioned about the serial killer stuff.
I feel like, well, I mean, the way we've been, like, you can't not, because I think the last episode, I think it was the last episode we did was about 2 hours long. So we've kind of gone, because we've been on time. We have been like kind of fitting into the hour and a half, even less. I was like, we haven't had a 3-hour episode yet. We've got to at least have one 3-hour episode. It's not the Beardy Bros podcast without one 3-hour episode.
You mean with Wookie?
Yeah, exactly.
Wookie.
I mean, we could, if I wanted to, I could literally make it an hour and a half episode with you. Yeah. Like, if I just butted in and be like, no, guided the podcast around, but we need to have one of those great 3-hour episodes where someone's like, fuck. I have to watch this because Wookie's in it, and we know it's going to be fucking mental, so... Yeah, you do! Fucking listen to it!
I haven't keep up with my local lore and information and stories in a while. I just can't really think of anything such as interesting as lesbian vampire killers of Brisbane.
Right. But...
it just leaves me. I might have to start going back into my forums and blogs and deep dives and
there's not much really happening lately. It's been pretty chill.
It has. It's just been quiet.
It comes with the old it comes with the old age.
The old age.
What you need to do, you need to get older and you need to hit that senile point where you're like, back in my day, and you just hit that old point, you just got all the stories. You know what I mean?
I did have my birthday recently, and I think only one person gave me a call.
When was that? I can't remember.
This was because my January. This year. January 29th was my birthday. No one gave me a happy birthday.
I can't even fucking remember. Like
I think my mum called me up and said happy birthday. That was the only person that messaged anything. It was literally no.
We're not even gonna say it because fuck you. We're not even gonna wish you. Oh fuck! I said happy birthday. Fuck. Shit.
Yeah. So this is like essentially a month ago. Yeah,
I'm literally at the point where I'm actually I'm at the point where I own it. If I miss fucking wishing someone a happy birthday, well, fuck them and fuck me. You know what I mean? Like it's gotten to the point now.
Surprised. I got no happy birthdays at all. Except when my mum rang me up, and that was
it gets that weird point where you get to that certain point where it's just like, even when Facebook reminds you sometimes, like I don't even use Facebook much, so I don't even know. Yeah. Like that's what reminds me of people's birthdays, and half the time I'll get the notification or I'll see the notification 5 days after their birthday. I'm just like,
I try to be on point and wish happy birthdays on the days. But I was just surprised that no one wished me a happy birthday.
The people that you would think that, like the people that you think they would actually wish you a happy birthday would actually wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I got nothing at all.
That's a bit shitty. Like you know a lot of people. Like you know a lot of people. Like you're like people that you think that should wish you a happy birthday didn't wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah. I was thinking on that day, like as soon as it reached like
or like
on that
beforehand,
evening,
something like that.
Yeah. I was like thinking like, man, everyone's a cunt. I was like,
right?
What the fuck? Everyone hates me. Like, fuck. What have I done?
But then I was thinking,
working?
I was thinking the Bill Burr thing, the classic thing where it was thinking like, all right, I'm driving down the road. If I just keep my hand here, I'm fine. Like, I'm a normal person. Go to barbecues. attend, attend, work and all that. But if I turn it slightly to the right, everyone will know my name.
Exactly.
Just a couple of speed bumps, natural speed bumps.
Yep.
Just run over a couple of people.
It's just gone to a weird point.
People give a shit again.
I do feel like in general, like not just
But-
on yours though, but I'm literally seeing posts like I'm getting notified late by Facebook. Like this is how usually I keep in the loop because I'm bad with it.
Yeah.
But I've actually noticed that a lot lately that people aren't really wishing people happy birthdays anymore. Like a lot of the time, it is after the fact, not the days they're on, and because people are either not being notified because that's how we've relied for so long as we've been.
Yeah. People rely heavily on it. There's no like keeping.
And like, I'm seeing a lot of people like seeing happy birthday posts, like if they do see it on the day, or it's literal people going, "Oh, it was your birthday shit." Sorry, like I'm seeing more of that lately.
There's the meme where it was like the girl has the birthday and she gets like 1 million messages.
Yeah.
But a guy has a birthday and it's like no messages at all, and they've got like they'll wish themselves a happy birthday with a single cupcake.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's like
and
just
I'm seeing that more and more
afterwards.
lately. I'm seeing that a lot more and more. Like people.
Oh
yeah.
It just kind of makes you think that.
It's like we've all gone to the generation now. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's your birthday." Oh well, whatever. Like, I'm just like, "No, it's your birthday." Like, fuck.
I was happy to get socks and underwear for my birthday. I got nothing.
Like I'm still like, I'm still dirty for my 30th. Like I didn't even get a 30th.
Message, no presents. Like in the past, I've gotten people awesome gifts. It was like someone I gave like a John Wick figurine statue, like a nice one. It was like worth like $700.
Well, that's exactly how I'm like. If I wish someone to have a birthday, that's what,
ever. I was like, man, people are absolute cunts, and I'm like. What? And it makes you think like, oh, I'm not going to stop being a nice person.
I had for so long.
That's why I stopped doing that myself.
Well, that's like for so long because I was always trying to catch up. Because once he moved, it was hard to catch up with him, and it was like Christmas. And then once the whole MK thing separated, I knew I was really never going to go to meets to really catch up with Wookie. And for so long, it was like a couple of Christmases like before COVID, and it sat in the drawer for so long. Like I'd bought you a Christmas card. Literally was a Wookie Christmas card with a Wookie pin. And I bought a scratchy. And I had an envelope, and it was like back in like 2017 or 2018, whenever it was, and it sat in that drawer like if it was a Christmas present. I bought it. No, it was a Christmas or a birthday present. Either way, it sat in the drawer. A couple of years go by, and I'm just like, that thing's still sitting in the drawer. Fuck it, the scratchy's mine now. I don't know when I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna fucking scratch this thing. 1-0, but I was just like, fuck it. It's been sitting in here. It's mine now. Like, I bought it for him as a gift. I don't know when the fuck I'm going to see this guy. It sat in the thing for like 2 years. I'm like, fuck it, it's mine.
I know what you mean.
But like, it's hard sometimes. But like,
it's also, it is hard. It is like, also, like, I
that's why,
like, getting... I always had the theory where I always get someone at least one awesome gift. Every person I'm friends with. At least one awesome gift.
I think I still got the card. I just don't know.
Or I do like nice things for people.
Like, I kept it. I still kept the pin with the card.
Over generous. Like for example, like I got that hotel room. We had that awesome party in Gold Coast.
Fucking appreciate that. Always.
And we got that the cart ride. The fucking.
I love that. Like that's it's the moments that count. Like that's the hard part.
Exactly. Moments like that. And then you appreciate it, but then there's other people who have experienced
that just expect
it. Thing.
And that's why, not some people.
They're just like they're arrogant. Or like either they're arrogant and they're like, oh well, you're just one of everyone else that gives me awesome stuff. And then it's like, why should I give back? Because whatever, I'm awesome. Yeah. And it's like, no. You're a cunt. Like
that's why I stopped giving certain people gifts as well because like I know sometimes they can't afford it or they focus somewhere else. It's like, well, I can understand like you can't afford to focus it, but like I'm getting to the point where it's like
you can't afford it. I've experienced those people.
It gets to a point where you can't afford it every time. Like there's someone we like. I'm not.
No. I know what you mean, but I meant like as in the other in reciprocating. It's like kind of like I did something awesome to you, and they can reciprocate.
Yeah, exactly.
Either financially and the same financial value of that gift.
It doesn't even have to be the same value, but like just a thought. Like it's just the thought of something.
Of the thought of it, exactly. But they don't do it ever. Not even in any other entirety.
Yes.
You encounter people like that, and they're absolute cunts. And they're the people I wish I kind of like drove over. You know what I mean?
That's what it is with me. Like I could spend like value is never really a big thing. Like I could be crazy and be like, oh, I'm gonna give this person a nice gift and spend like $100 on them for a Christmas gift. And they could buy me a $5 gift and give it back. I don't care what the value is. It's the thought for me when it comes to gifts. It's the thought that counts, not the value. If I want to splurge, $150 on a gift for someone, that's because I wanted to spoil them. If they give me a $5 gift back, that's fine. Like I go fucking for Christmas. Where the fuck it was? Like I don't know where my bottles are gone, but like it was for Christmas. It was like the most simplest gift, like for Christmas. It was like for someone else going, oh, that's a bit weird, but it was like literally a 6-pack of bottles of water, like. But it was because of the joke that I had made when I was on the news, where it was like, it's a nice little bottle of water. They went out of the way. They made the labels for them. Yeah. That's all the gift I got for Christmas from them, was a 6-pack of bottle of waters. But it's the thought. Like, at first I was like it was weird at first because it stepped back. But it was the joke. Like, it was like, I was like, wow. Like, it was the shock of like, what the fuck? Like this. But it was like, it was the fact because it was like a whole level of things. And I appreciate it because it was the thought that counted. It's only like 65 cents per bottle, you know, and it's a cheap label they did on it. But, like, it's the thought. They put extra steps into it.
They still got the effort of...
Exactly, like, it's the thought that counts.
But there's other people that don't put any effort in it. And it doesn't matter how much effort you put into them. It's like, hey, look, I'm But you know what I mean? Like, there's some people out there, hey, you put effort into them and you show them that you care, but they don't reciprocate in any kind. And they're just like... just absolute cunts, and I've encountered a few people like that over the years, and you kind of like, well, I'm glad that those people aren't in my life anymore, because
I'm bad when it comes to that stuff.
And they just suck you fucking dry, bro.
Like I know he's fine with like there's like the time with the strip club thing, and you pay for me at the strip club, like, and I know I talked to like later and it was like, and you say no, it's fine. Like, I still feel bad that I didn't pay you back because I said I'd pay you back. Like, well, you know,
you're probably drunk as well. Was it the $5 one, or
it was the $90? $90.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I know you're fine, but like, that's just me as a person. I still feel bad because I said.
I just feel shitty now if it was only the $5 one.
No, because like Nathan was up there and I was like, oh, we're gonna go up there and then you're gonna do it, and I was like, oh, I've never had a lap dance before, and you're like, and I said I can pay you back. You're like, are you sure you're gonna pay me back? I'm like, yeah, I'll pay you back, because I made the promise. Like, okay, because you were like maybe short. I think you were like at that time you didn't have much cash on you that night. I think it was something like that. But like to me, like, this is how I am as a person. I still feel bad, even though you said it's fine, and you're like, it's and it was fine. Like, I still feel bad. I never paid you back. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's me as a person.
That's the thing. I'm just saying. I feel so bad. Appreciate even little things to big things, and you like you appreciate it. You actually show appreciation. Unlike other people who are like,
weird. Like,
they just take it and run.
That's what people exactly my point. Like, people go, oh yeah, cool.
Those people deserve to be like kind of like a sign put up saying, "Don't put any effort into
them." Yeah, don't give this person any feedback. Yeah,
exactly. Because it's like they have this mentality of like everything comes to me. Oh yes, put your gift to the side next to the gold.
You never expect anything from anyone. Like,
exactly. That's exactly it. You don't, and it makes it.
They don't appreciate anything, and because of that, they're just going to be like run over with a car. Just
that little.
But
Oh fuck! I need to pee again.
Just saying, like, karma. It's like, I'm not going to say it, but there's some people out there like get everything, even though the right thing is they should actually share.
Oh, that made it worse.
Damn it!
I mean. Dancing around made it worse. I'm gonna pee quickly.
But Dal kind of knows who I'm talking about.
Yes. Actually, I'll come back to you. Can you hear me? Yes. And it's always been the way because, like, we always give gifts. And I mean, like, best friend, you know, it's fine. But, like, when we kind of do almost expect it a little bit. And, you know, I don't want to...
Oh, no, not that one. The other one. The other one, the thing that don't worry.
The other one. But I mean, there's people like that. Like, we give them gifts every year. It's like there's some kind of thought you could kind of give something back. You know, even if I went out of my way and I bought like something from an op shop, maybe, you know, it was only a couple of bucks. It's still the thought I put in. You can still do the same thing. Like, it's not expecting it, but like you can still be like, oh, here's a card at least, or like, I'm not expecting it back, but like it's just after years after years after years after years after years of not getting anything, there could be some kind of thought back.
People don't change.
Not even like a surprise kind of like, here you go.
Oh, out of all the time, okay, it's like it's been 5 years or 10 years or something like that. It's like, oh, hey, actually, here you go for a change. There's none of that in between. Like, it's been...
Yeah, or it doesn't matter how much hard work you do for them. It's kind of like...
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just go fuck yourself kind of thing. Which, like I said, it needs to be like a nice sign. People need to start giving warnings to other people on how much of a cunt other people are.
Yeah, but you don't know that now until it's too late.
Well, that's what I mean. But there's other people that have experienced it, and they need to kind of go, hey, look, this is the person. I've spent time with them in the past. You should not give them 2 cents because they won't even give you nothing back because they're cunts. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I mean, Dale and me experienced like people like that. I
got rid of people like that completely.
Well, yeah, same. I'm just like,
there's a lot of mutual friends that we like, and that's what it says. They can't really focus it because there's a lot of mutual friends we have that I could actually count on 2 hands or more. that are kind of like that. Like you'll give them something and there's no reciprocation back. Like or
Yeah,
anything.
say
Or
thank
even,
them.
like there's not even
Nothing.
thought like even when it's not a birthday
like,
or
hey look, hey look, I can buy you a birthday gift. Oh, and they never give anything.
like they
back.
won't even go their way to wish you like a happy birthday back then. Or, you know, even that.
Yeah,
Like they won't even do that. Like
And-
you'll give them a gift for
I
their
feel like
birthday
a dick
or
now.
no,
Yeah,
not just that.
but
Like it's not even well, alright, whatever. But like it's like not even like a Christmas time. You wish them a happy, you know, happy Christmas. You know, Christmas you have a Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, and they never message you first or about Happy New Year or Merry Christmas or a Happy Birthday. But you'll do it, buy them a gift or you'll give them a Christmas present or you'll wish them that. It's always the one-sided kind of thing. And there's a lot of people we know of that. Like it could just be one time, even if it didn't even like. You could go and give them a birthday present and wish them a happy birthday and give them a Merry Christmas and give them a Christmas present and wish them a Happy New Year. And they could just do one of those things and I'd be appreciated for that whole year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they could do any of those. They could just wish me a happy birthday or a Merry Christmas or a Happy New Year. Like any of those, or give me like it could be anything. It's just to show you like if they do just once out of the 6 options. Yeah. You know, that's all it takes. It's just one thing. Even if they want to be a tight ass.
Those people are always one-sided, and I think we should just put them in a camp and then we just gas. No, sorry.
I mean, that's a bit one-sided. Yeah. But no, but that's what I mean though. Like there's literal people that will literally absorb and not give anything back. There's no like it's just a money machine basically. There's no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying like after the recent birthday, I was kind of like made me reflect on how people are absolute cunts that have in the past, and like I should just give warning with some people just like don't give them 2 cents because they're just doing it because they expect it, and it's just like a one way for them, and those people just need to be fucking cut out.
Well,
they don't even acknowledge it afterwards either. Like they just blank it, I think. Like
they'll just be like, oh, I'll just go find someone else that I can get all the good shit from. Yeah, you're just like another person in line that's like, I expect all this free shit.
And then they go the long time without even saying a word.
Yeah.
Because they fucking done, but whatever.
But we can. But I think we can wrap it up. I think.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Wrap this up. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes of ranting and talking.
It was just me griping, just
Yeah,
complaining.
we're taking from the viewers.
We can talk after this anyway. But I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah,
Jim,
exactly.
do you wanna wrap it up? As always.
Yes. That's weird. Feels weird having a long one. I was like, fuck.
Oh, I said we haven't done it for ages, so I thought, fuck it.
Not in a while.
It's been like, what, 5 months? 4 months?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's like, why not?
But, we thank Wookie for joining us on this episode. Whatever.
I'm going to talk about something. Don't worry, next time.
The lesbian.
It's been a dingus. No, don't derail it again.
Yeah.
No.
Control yourself.
But
I'll give a hint for next time. I can tell the story on how I made friends with an actual prostitute.
Don't we burn partly down
friends, like hang out, no sex.
Oh, that was the stripper. That was the stripper story. That was the other one.
No, that's a stripper. No, well, actually, I did make friends with a stripper. No,
you've told us that story. You've told us the stripper
you've
story.
seen this one before.
Have I? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I need more. No, that was probably a stripper. But I made friends with an actual prostitute. Like an actual, she has her clients, but we
People are going to be on the fence now, wondering when this episode's going to come. It's going to have to be a while.
Yeah, it's going to be like a teaser. Next time, I'll just say a completely different story. And
next time.
Did we do a lot? We didn't do a live episode. Did we do a live episode this month?
Yeah.
We were planning to do a live one. Well, yeah, because every month we'll
Didn't I do one last time with you?
No, though we did one. We were planning to do every month.
Didn't you stream the last one?
Yeah, I streamed most of them. But no, did we do double streamed? We double streamed.
Oh, on our own Twitch channel.
I remember being on the live stream.
No, I've derailed it. But what we're basically planning to do was we're going to do a live stream every month, whether it was going to be on our channels or the main channel.
Yeah.
But we're going to do one live stream every month. So maybe we can.
Well, that was fucked because there's no more this month.
I think we did the double. I don't know if it was January then we did the double stream. Anyway, wrap it up. We can talk about it. Wrap it up. I want to go.
Thank you, Beardy, for joining us on episode 8. I'm pretty sure it is. Thank you, Wookie, for joining us, you bloody legend.
Alright.
We have been Dale and Jim and Wookie, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know what we need to get though for next episode? Some Mama Lizard's Chilio!
Mama Lizard's Chilio!
You've stopped recording?